Talking points, Dion. Rasmus Højlund is trusted. He needs a goal, if anyone. He hasn't scored since mid-December.
I think he's just got to keep putting himself in those positions. He's got to put the pressure on his wide men to give him some service. And if he can keep doing his job and they can keep doing theirs, at some point he's going to get that goal that could set him off.
We are underway at Old Trafford. The smell of sulphur in the air. This is BBC Radio 5 live at BBC Sounds. The last 16, the second leg, 1-1 on aggregate. We will keep you up to date with events at Tottenham and Rangers, at Chelsea as well in the Conference League. We'll keep you up to date with Lyon and Steaua Bucharest, because that game, the winner of that, will play whoever wins this tie here. Lyon have a 3-1 advantage from the first leg. Manchester United, as they did on Sunday against Arsenal, are attacking the Stretford end to begin with here. And a touch for the very tall Aidan Heaven. He's only 18 years of age, but he's fully built. Is this sturdy central defender as Dorgu gives it into the centre circle to Casemiro, tries to launch an early crossfield ball. Dalot was the intention there. It's headed down by Munoz and picked up by Garnacho. Manchester United give it away midway inside Sociedad territory. Casemiro wasn't able to find a pass, and the Spanish team will work it up to the halfway line themselves, and it's taken forward by Marin, and a good injection of pace to get away from Bruno Fernandes, but then a soft pass towards Oyarzabal, but easily cut out by Aidan Heaven. 0-0 in the early stages here.
Having really good anticipation there, but I like the ball from Casemiro. Casemiro trying to go crossfield to Dalot. I mean, it was led by Muniz, but I think you have to do that more. Go short, go long for United.
Both teams want a free kick. Referee says play on. Bres Mendes into the penalty area. Oyarzabal tries to send in a low cross. Xerxes is well positioned, and he's able to hoof the ball away out towards Garnacho on the right wing, who controls it under pressure from Munoz. Big night at Old Trafford. Bright, pacey start to the game here so far, as Manchester United have it on the edge of their own penalty area. Mazraoui into De Ligt, and no high press from the Spanish team as they retreat back into the central third of the pitch. De Ligt rolls it to Mazraoui on the right hand side, then Casemiro gives it away again in the midfield. Two uncertain touches by him. Bres Mendes comes forward again. He's able to shrug off Bruno Fernandes. This is Kubo in the penalty area, tricky player. Oh, nutmeg goes through Aidan Heaven, and Dorgu has to scramble back to put it out for a corner. First set piece of the evening. It's a corner to Real Sociedad. It's 0-0 on the night on 5 Live.
Yes, good play. It really is. A lovely little Megs as well. Kubu on Haven there, but I do believe that Dorgu just could see it coming, and he went round the back of his teammate just to help him out. Nice little bit of help there defensively. Well done.
He would remind you of Brighton's Mitoma, who would Takefusa Kubo. He has skills to burn.
Yeah, absolutely. Very similar football, the way they play.
Corner kick to Sociedad, and Manchester United have everyone back to defend it. Low delivery, ineffective, met by Xerxes at the front post. His header comes out to Pablo Marin. He'll roll it to the near touchline. Bres Mendes midway inside Manchester United territory. It's a good ball in, but Onana springs off his goal line, wearing all purple, gathers the ball, immediately tries to release it long on the counter to Garnacho, but too much thrust on that, and it carries all the way through to the other goalkeeper, Ramiro. But Onana absolutely commanding his penalty area with the first cross he to deal with there.
Yeah, great starting position. He knew that the ball was going to come in, not with any bend or any whip. It was laces. It was rising as it got to his hands, and as he picked it out of the sky, he was looking forward straight away. I think if you're going to go long with one of those sidewinders, you've got to go down the sides, not towards the keeper.
Good atmosphere inside Old Trafford. Crowd on their feet. De Ligt rolls it back to Onana, wearing all purple with the bright orange boots. Oyarzabal this time runs in to try and put some pressure on. The clearances down the right wing towards Garnacho, and Manchester United have targeted him in their early attempts to counter-attack. This is Zubimendi on the far side, but give it away. Bruno Fernandes, captain armband on his left arm, short to Casemiro. Again, the attempted long pass. It was for Dalot this time, but too far again. And Manchester United just pushing it a little bit here in these early stages and not quite finding their passes.
Yeah, he's like Casemiro. I think he's trying to play the right passes, but nobody else seems to either be on his wavelength, or nobody seems to follow through with the run they've made. And the pass that he's made is pretty much the correct one.
Casemiro, who's done it all, seen it all in the game, can he inspire this young Manchester United team? Here's Garnacho, just outside the penalty area. Right hand side, 3 to aim from the middle, sends it in low, but I don't know if it got a deflection, but it seemed to be a poor delivery maybe deflected off the first defender, but it ends up in the arms of Alex Romero. Still 0-0 at Old Trafford.
I don't mind that, Connor. I don't mind that he's trying to do that. Garnacho down the right-hand side. He's trying to get to the line. He gets to the line and just tries to put it in behind the defence, in between the keeper and the defensive 4 or 5. And it gives us forwards a chance. Zirkzee's in there. Højlund's in there as well. More of that.
Ruben out of him. Amorim down on his haunches, scratching his beard, looking on down below in the technical area. As Becker comes charging down the left wing. When he came out of the first leg, he played right wing, but he started left tonight. Here comes Bres Mendes, just on the edge of the penalty area. Marion involved too, cut out by Dorgu, who's controlled it well here. He tries to sprint away from his own penalty area. Sliding in was Bres Mendes, and Sociedad regained possession inside the Manchester United half. Kubo, just outside the penalty area, right-hand side. Rolls it to Elizondo. Low delivery and was dangerous, and De Ligt was scrambling inside the 6-yard box. The referee blows the whistle. There was a foul, I think, on De Ligt. It's a free kick to Manchester United. Feel the relief there because Sociedad were dangerous on that attack.
Really good defending. I mean, I'm not quite sure who the player is down for Sociedad, but he was trying to get across De Ligt. De Ligt did not allow it. He made sure he was there before the ball got past him. He was sliding in. Think he caught the midfield player that was trying to get across him. I'm not quite sure who it was. Anyway, I think he was offside. It was a great tackle, and the attack was quashed.
Yes, it's Mikel Oyarzabal, Sociedad's goal scorer of the first leg. He's trying to stay goal side of De Ligt.
He is.
I think as well he's looking for that connection. He's thinking there's a chance of a penalty when De Ligt combines with him. But he's now slow to get back to his feet, and he's just up and hobbling now, but he's okay.
It's very good defending, though, because De Ligt makes sure that he's the first man. The centre-forward's always wanting to try and get across you, ball side.
Vieira is looking to see, could there be a penalty here? The referee is telling Onana, hold on, don't restart the game yet. They're checking to see if this could be a penalty. We mentioned that Oyarzabal gets goal side, De Ligt coming back. Does he? I think, the more I see it now, I think he kicks the standing leg of Oyarzabal, and De Ligt will be hoping that this will be a check complete and play on, but we are waiting to hear French officials tonight. Willy Deligeant is the video assistant referee this evening. Benoit Bastien, the official on the pitch, and he's still holding his hand up and he's telling Onana, don't restart the game. They're giving this big consideration. So, Sociedad, who scored a penalty late on in the first leg, hoping they could get a spot kick here very early in the game tonight.
Yeah, I mean, having seen it again, I've actually seen some free kicks over the weekend for a very similar offence.
Is he coming across to have a look?
He is.
He's coming over, and the screen has just been elevated up, but it's a pitch-side review. We know what this means, Dion. We've seen this movie before.
And you know what? It's one of those where the ball's coming across, and I don't think De Ligt has seen the leg of Oyarzabal, who's come in behind him. He's sort of gone to strike the ball, and the leg just ends up being in front of him before he connects with the ball. He's got to give this as a penalty, I think, now I've seen the replay. I think the contact is with the centre-forward first, isn't it?
The penalty in the first leg was particularly controversial. Bruno Fernandes deemed to have handballed when he was jumping to win a header. This may well be more cut and dry. It's not an immediate decision. He's pondering it. He's looking at a few different angles. As the cross came in low, it did touch off Dorgu, which slightly changed the trajectory. That's why both players were stretching. He's pointed to the spot. It's a penalty. It's a penalty to Real Sociedad at Old Trafford. It's a yellow card for Matthijs de Ligt as well. So, a chance for the Spanish team, the Basques, to take the lead here at Old Trafford this evening. And this could be an early setback for Manchester United on an evening of great importance. And the Spanish crowd are already celebrating as if they've scored. Penalty to Real Sociedad.
Yeah, it's a tough one on De Ligt. He hasn't seen him coming. He's got there first, or so I thought he did, but the leg, he's actually gone through the leg to get to the ball.
Well, last time they played here at Old Trafford, Bres Mendes scored the spot kick. Tonight it'll be Mikel Oyarzabal to take. He scored the penalty against Onana this night 7 days ago. 9 minutes on the stadium clock. Someone's got one of those laser pens that's trying to shine it into the eyes of Oyarzabal. Here he comes, left-footed, sends Onana the wrong way and scores. and it's 1-0 to Real Sociedad in the night. On aggregate, Manchester United 1, Real Sociedad 2. There's a long way to go, but it's first blood to Real Sociedad here.
Yeah, Oyarzabal there, no nerves at all, left-footed, puts the ball down, steps back about 3 or 4 paces, and he just strokes it to Onana's left, doesn't leave the floor of the ball. It's a very confident goal, and I think if I've got to say, I think the referee may have got that one right on review. They're ahead. It's an even bigger uphill battle for United now.
One club man, Mikel Oyarzabal. He has been in the first team squad at Sociedad for over a decade. He drags the badge of his shirt to his lips and he kisses to the travelling fans. What a start for Sociedad. They have had the best of the early stages. They've had more of the ball, they've had more possession. They've been in and around Manchester United's penalty area, and they now have a goal to score. Speaking of goals, news coming our way of a goal elsewhere. Where are we going to go to get details? We're going to go to League Two. Bromley against leaders Walsall tonight. Emily Herbert is there for us. Emily.
Bromley 1, Walsall 0, just 7 minutes in, and it's a brilliant team goal. All the work from Congreve on the left, leaves it for Ben Thompson, who sends it from the centre of the edge of the box. It's Bromley 1, Walsall 0.
Thanks very much. Manchester United 0, Real Sociedad 1 on the night here at Old Trafford. This 8 o'clock kick-off, early stages. Sociedad, who scored early in the last round after 5 minutes against Midtjylland and went through. The Spanish team who had to play a qualifying round to get into this last 16, whereas Manchester United were straight through. United, who haven't lost any games in the Europa League this season. It's been a torrid campaign domestically, but in Europe you see Manchester United arguably at the best of what they are capable of. But tonight, here at home at Old Trafford, Manchester United now trail. Throw into the visitors. Aris Irastondo getting ready to take it. Manchester United, who are tonight playing their 31st Europa League game at Old Trafford. They've only failed to score twice, but this is the clincher. Both times were against Sociedad in the past. Here's Garnacho attacking. Let's see what the response is here. Left-footed shot just into the ribcage of the goalkeeper. He was outside the box. It needed real power from there, but at least it's a response from Garnacho and Manchester United.
Yeah, nice little bit of play in the midfield there, keeping the ball moving. Nice one-touch football. Casemiro to Bruno out to Garnacho. He comes in on his left foot. I'm thinking if Dalot keeps going around the outside of him, it might move some of the defenders over to the left a little bit. Might be an easier chance.
That penalty this evening, the earliest penalty goal ever scored against Manchester United in European competition. Dalot, crossing position on the right-hand side, sends it in. Dorgu's on the back post, gets up well, but his header goes back across the face of goal. Xerxes was in that general area, but he couldn't react. Listen to the noise at Old Trafford. The home fans like this response. 2 chances in quick succession. Yeah, exactly. Get the ball in the box. Again, it's Dalot down the right-hand side, not even looking, curling it in away from the keeper. And Dorgu's on the far post. Now Bruno Fernandes has made a great run here into the penalty area. Hoyland can't score. Saved by Ramiro. How's that not gone in? Referee's going to give a penalty. He says Hoyland was fouled. They say a push on Hoyland. Manchester United with an immediate chance to bounce back. Bruno Fernandes teed it up for Hoyland, and as he was about to strike, he did get a shot away, but not a great one saved by the goalkeeper, and the referee says the reason for that was that he was impeded. What a dramatic start to the game. 13 minutes played. We've now had 2 penalties awarded. It's going to have to go through VAR, but that's the decision on field. Yeah, and from what I can see as well, even in real time, I'm thinking to myself, you've got to score, you've got to score. The ball's on a plate, he's 8 yards out, but he gets barged in the back. Just as he's about to strike it, he gets barged in the back, gets himself onside, and then he tries to strike the ball. Doesn't get a clean strike on it because he gets a bit of a barge. I think he's onside, he's fine, he's onside. They will have a very, very close look at this one, let me tell you. Yeah, that's a penalty. That's a penalty. Of the delay at the moment won't be whether he was fouled. The delay was the question of whether he might have been offside, because that part is tight. Initially the ball played forward, he's not active, that's fine. As Bruno Fernandes plays the cross, I mean, look, he's fine. I think he is onside, but so. That's what they'll be checking rather than anything else. I think so. I think you're spot on, Connor. It's that pass from Bruno Fernandes on or off. He shouldn't really take this long. I think it's a
penalty all day long.
Right, it still hasn't been confirmed, but Bruno Fernandes has the ball in his hand and he is ready to take it. Bruno Fernandes, who has scored more penalties in Manchester United colours than any other player in their history. This will be his 39th penalty for Manchester United. He has scored 34 out of 38 so far. Check over, penalty confirmed. A chance to make it 1-1 on the night, 2-2 on aggregate. This whirlwind start at Old Trafford tonight. And, you know, he's had criticism from some quarters, but Bruno Fernandes has so often carried this team on his shoulders. Can he rise to the occasion once again here? He's going to run directly at the ball. He's standing straight in front of it. Here he comes. Right-footed penalty. Slams it down low into the back of the net. And Manchester United immediately draw level. Boy, do they need that as Bruno Fernandes rises to the occasion once again.
It's a brilliant penalty, by the way. We're all waiting. Everybody in this stadium's waiting. Is he going to do the skip? Is he going to do the hop? He does the skip. And just before he gets to the ball and strikes it, the keeper just leans to his left. So he puts it to his right. It's a very confident penalty. The skipper again does it for United.
Right, buckle up. European tie on our hands. Both teams on the score sheet, both from penalties tonight. Who knows which way this pendulum is going to swing, but this, make no mistake, is a proper European tie now. Could be one of those nights at Old Trafford as Manchester United cling with their fingernails to try and hold on to this season, which has been a shambles at times, but the Europa League holds the potential key that this could still be a successful campaign. There could still be silverware, and Manchester United 2-2 on aggregate now have got play back underway. This is Dalot on the right hand side of defence, playing it up towards Højlund. Højlund, who of course will be delighted that Manchester United have scored there, but how he would have loved to have been the man to tuck it away, looking for that first goal in 21 games. But Bruno Fernandes made no mistake, and you know, there had been questions about him. I guess the big retort, Dion, is if they didn't have Bruno Fernandes, where would Manchester United be?
Exactly, they wouldn't be in the position they are now. They'll be a lot worse off because he has got them out of the mess many times, whether it's a winner or an equalising goal, but he's so important to them. That's why they leave him for the important moments.
By the way, Igor Zubeldia was booked, and that was for his part in giving away the penalty. So the referee has been consistent. De Ligt was booked with a penalty at one end, and Zubeldia was booked at the other. Let's go back to René Milstein, who's watching the pictures back in the studio. What a start to this game. René, what have you made of the opening stages?
It's going to be a long night, boys. It's going to be a long night. But no, it was great. And what a response. That is exactly what United needed. And I hope they settle in the game a little bit better, because I think the first part of the game was for Real Sociedad. But great response. Fantastic ball from Casemiro. And like you both said, Bruno Fernandes, where would United be if they wouldn't have him?
Thanks, René. Bruno Fernandes on the ball, and he's fouled by Kubo. And that is a free kick to Manchester United midway inside their own half. Manchester United 1, Real Sociedad 1 on the night, 2-2 on aggregate. And a place in the Europa League quarter-final at stake this evening. Bruno Fernandes plays it long, trying to get it in behind Enestundo, the right back. He was looking for Dorgu, who made a good run forward. Casemiro's to get a nice touch there to Xerxes, just outside the penalty area. Dorgu now, left-hand side. Manchester United showing a real willingness to get bodies forward here as Bruno Fernandes plays a little disguise ball to Dalot. Back to Bruno Fernandes, sends it across from the left, punch away by the goalkeeper, who then connected with Højlund on the follow-through. Manchester United want a penalty. Clearly the referee the goalkeeper got the ball first as Casemiro tries to shoot from the edge of the area. Højlund is still down. He was caught there, but I can't imagine there'll be any further sanction because the referee punches the ball. It's the follow-through that connects with the player, and I can't see that being given as reckless. What do you think, Dion?
No, I don't think so. I think the keeper does get the ball on the end of his fist, but he catches Højlund with the rest of the arm. Højlund stays down for a few minutes, but he's up on his feet, which is good to see. I mean, but all you have to do is put quality in the box, get enough numbers in the box, you've got a chance of scoring or causing some kind of havoc. They've done it every single time, United, and created a chance and a couple of half chances as well.
She was a bloody nose for Højlund, but he's he's got up and he's just wiped that away, and he's okay to continue. Manchester United suddenly have got something that has been in such short supply. They've got a bit of momentum. And, you know, the disappointment of going 1-0 down, but so quickly to get back on level terms. Wind in their sails again. And you can feel the buzz around Old Trafford. 1-1 on the night if you're just joining us.
I think that's the kind of thing that Højlund doesn't mind. He doesn't mind the physical elements of the game. It kind of looks like tonight that's what he needed. Bit of a bloody nose and bit of physical contact to get him going.
Here is Dorgu, 10 yards inside his own half, down the line. Højlund in pursuit, running with Zubeldia. Zubeldia's got to be careful now. Højlund, there's the physicality as he pushes the defender away. And I think he might have got away with that in the Premier League, but the French referee thought it was too much rough and tumble. And what Højlund believes was a shoulder charge has been interpreted as more of an elbow and a push. And the referee gives the free kick, but I think that is exactly what you were referring to, Dion, that Højlund's got to roll up his sleeves, he's got to grit his teeth and get stuck in. Yeah,
I think it's a great run, you know. Dorgu gets the ball in the left back spot and you can see his hands up. Højlund's hands up, he's in the centre forward position. And you know what, I think it's a great run and it's just strength. It's the defender that tries to push Højlund over, but Højlund's strong enough, stands his ground, the defender falls on the floor, referee blows his whistle. Terrible decision.
The elbow does connect, and you can see on the Spanish player Zubeldia as he gets up. Look at he's got the bloody mouth, so he's not acting this. There was a connection. It's not intentional from Højlund. You've got to shake your arms as you're running. He's going into a shoulder charge. He's making that case to the referee, but Zubeldia, who's got a bloody mouth, is surely going to have to leave the field. I mentioned there was a bloody nose for Højlund. That was just a little. He was able to just sniff that away almost. It wasn't spotted by the officials, but this is more blood for the defender here around his mouth, so he has to depart the pitch to get that taken care of. And it's got the feeling of a proper battle, this, isn't it?
Exactly,
they're really getting stuck in.
I mean, Zubeldia is the one that actually was trying to be physical towards Højlund, and Højlund, as any centre forward would do, is you give yourself as much space as possible, get your arms up. Yes, he caught him with his elbow on his lip, no intention at all. I think it was a wrong decision.
So play will get back underway. It's been all action here at Old Trafford, but we need to check in North London, where Tottenham are up against Alkmaar this evening. Alkmaar leading 1-0 from the first leg. Andy Stevenson's been watching the first stages of the second leg. Andy.
Goalless so far in this second leg, Connor. A confident start though from Spurs. There's a real zip about their play. Pedro Porro, Jed Spence are playing so high up the pitch. No chances yet though. 1-0 on aggregate to AZ, still 0-0 on the night.
And Jose Mourinho is in Glasgow this evening. His Fenerbahce team were beaten 3-1 in the first leg against Rangers. How's the second leg got started? Al Ibrox, Ailey Barber.
Well, Jose Mourinho has been very animated on the touchline because this one has ramped up a level. Rangers with the first real big chance of the night. Czerny in the middle of the box just couldn't connect with Jeffrey's cross, but Fenerbahce, they need to get a goal early on in this one. They trail 3-1 from the first leg and Jose Mourinho is out waving his arms. It is still Rangers 0, Fenerbahce 0 on the night.
Actually, Manchester United on the attack. Dorgu to the byline, left hand side, swings in a good cross. Garnacho tees himself up, left footed shot, blocked away by Zubimendi, and out for a corner to Manchester United at the Stretford end. 2-2 in aggregate. Quickly to Stamford Bridge. John Southall.
Chelsea 0, Copenhagen 0. Copenhagen have been the better side. Achuri with a stretching header over the bar, and Huskus on the right of the area, shot blocked. Copenhagen 0, Chelsea 0. 2-1 to Chelsea in aggregate.
And so much Bruno Fernandes has been given a hero's welcome as he places the ball down by the corner flag. This is the right hand side as Manchester United come forward, far side of the pitch from us. And since the flurry, the two penalties that came back to back, Manchester United have been the team on top. So Bruno Fernandes ready to take the corner kick, but the referee just holds things up. There's too much jostling. He's seen the bloody nose, the bloody mouth. He wants that stuff to stop, and he's just trying to instill a bit of discipline here. Right, we're ready. Here it comes. Bruno Fernandes corner, outswinger, jumping Xerxes, cleared away by Zubimendi. They're now appealing for a handball, Dion.
Yeah, big handball shout.
As Bruno Fernandes sends it back into the centre again, but headed away by Brez Mendes. Then only left Kubo up there. Dorgu, very strong in the challenge, takes on a shot which had all the power, but none of the accuracy. It's 10 yards wide in the end. But I think the Old Trafford crowd, for whom commitment and desire are sometimes followed by question marks around here. I think they like what they're seeing at the moment. 1-1.
You know what, Connor? I think what they're happy with is the speed that Manchester United are moving the ball. They haven't put their studs on at centre half and just waited for people to close them down. They've got the ball down, they've got it into midfield, they've gone through the thirds, they've played 1 and 2 touch, they've got it down the left and right wings, and they've crossed it. It's a really simple game, and Man United are better when they keep it simple.
We've just seen a replay of the inverted commas penalty appeal, because to be fair, it was a big initial shout, but then it all dampened down rather quickly. But we've seen the replay. It hits Martin Zubimendi on his upper thigh. It's not a handball, and that was the correct on-field decision from the referee. Such is the urgency of Ruben Amorim that he plays ball boy here. He sprints down the little rised edge of the pitch in front of the technical areas to retrieve the ball for Aritz Elizondo to take the throw in for Real Sociedad, wearing the gold jerseys tonight, playing from left to right, defending the Stretford end. Nice touch there by Oresabal. Kubo brawls it into the penalty area. Heaven was the defender. Has a little collision on the edge of the box, and Brais Mendes sort of fell into the penalty area, but I don't think there was much in that. The referee waves play on. Goal kick to Onana. Yeah,
Heaven, good defending that, just staying strong, allowing nobody in his space, nice and strong, tried to go on the inside of him.
Onana plays a short pass to Aiden Heaven, who drops his shoulder, goes around Oyarzabal, and he looks so composed for a kid who has never started a senior professional game of football in his life. We saw him against Fulham in the Cup, we saw him against Arsenal in the Premier League of the weekend. I mean, 2 difficult games to come into. He looks the real deal. You can see why Arsenal were disappointed to lose him.
It just looks like he's playing in the park with his mates.
No, we've done it there. We've commentators cursed him as he gives the pass away.
And he just gives it away for the first time. Get him off, sub-ref.
Sorry, Aidan. That's our fault. Yeah. Well, it wasn't costly, but he was trying to give it to Dorgu, and it was cut out by Kubo.
I mean, he's actually playing, it's a debut game in a European game for Manchester United, and he doesn't look out of place one iota.
18 years of age, turned 18 in September. He did play for Arsenal in the League Cup in October against Preston. That was his only appearance for them. Here he is, rolling the ball back to Onana, who left-footed at a bit of a stretch, clears away. Ball is still in play. Aiden Heaven controlling it. Kubo will shepherd that out for a corner. We've done him there, Dion. He didn't put a foot wrong till I started praising him. He's had 2 mistakes in quick succession. Corner to Real Sociedad, taken quickly. Kubo just outside the penalty area, drills it in low, tries to catch Onana out at the near post, but it's saved by the Cameroonian international. 1-1 on the night on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. 2-2 on aggregate in this last 16 tie of the Europa League.
Yeah, schoolboy error there from United. 2 players, Real Sociedad players over the ball, corner. 2 red shirts walking away from the corner, not even looking at the corner. They play a short one and they're looking to get away with it. Shot on target as well. I've got to say they're lucky.
Into the 28th minute of the game. If you're just joining our coverage here, penalty for Real Sociedad, scored by Oyarzabal, put them in front. Penalty for Bruno Fernandes, equalised for Manchester United. Dallo with a touch in field to Casemiro, halfway line. Mazraoui gives it to Bruno Fernandes, 20 yards inside Sociedad territory. Right-footed delivery towards the edge of the penalty area, cut out by Aguirre. And a chance for Kubo here to launch a counter-attack as he weaves away from Bruno Fernandes. Xerxes is working hard to put him under pressure, and Kubo is able to roll it back to Elizondo as Real Sociedad hold on to possession. My eyes drawn towards Ruben Amorim down there, just sort of calming motion towards Heaven and Dorgu, and just getting them to take a breath at the moment at what is a key juncture in the game. Approaching the half-hour mark of this second leg tie. Elizondo midway inside his own half. Dorgu putting good pressure, leaning in, winning the ball away, and it's cleared away by Zubeldia up over the halfway line. Bruno Fernandes regains possession and rolls it back to Andre Onana. 2-2 on aggregate here. Goal at Ibrox. Rangers against Fenerbahce. Eli Barber.
No goal here. Connor, still Rangers 0, Fenerbahce 0. Rangers trying to get that goal that would all but seal their progression to the quarterfinals. It hasn't come yet though.
Apologies, Ailey. The goal has come at Tottenham. Andy Stevenson.
And it's come for Tottenham. They lead on the night, draw level on aggregate. It's the Frenchman Wilson Odobert with his very first goal for the club. Son Heung-min blocked a clearance from Wouter Ghost, the AZ centre-back. It fell to Dominic Solanke, who the crowd thought was going to shoot himself. He unselfishly squared it though for Odobert, who finished with feeling. Tottenham 1, AZ Alkmaar 0 on the night, but 1-1 on aggregate now.
Thanks very much, Andy. So Tottenham all square on aggregate, Manchester United all square on aggregate here. Garnacho has possession for Manchester United, far side of the pitches. They come forward, gives it infield to Mazraoui. Now Casemiro back near the centre circle. Oyarzabal puts a bit of pressure on him. Nice little movement though by Mazraoui to the feet of Bruno Fernandes. Now Garnacho just outside the penalty area. Manchester United letting the ball do the work here. It's 1-2 touch football as De Ligt now steps forward. Sociedad playing very deep, controlling on the edge of their penalty area. This is Aiden Heaven, one of the three central defenders who are all well up inside Sociedad territory at the moment. Casemiro trying to pick out Dorgu. That's a clever ball. And the cushioned header down for Xerxes, who turns onto his left boot, takes it to the byline, swings it back in just wide for Højlund. He cannot catch a break. He struck that side-footed edge of the 6-yard box, and agonisingly for Rasmus Højlund and for Manchester United, it creeps millimetres wide.
I mean, this Manchester United crowd, that's all they want. Give them something to cheer about. Keep that ball in the final third. Keep it moving. I mean, Xerxes down the left-hand side, a little bit of skill. Doesn't complicate it. He makes sure that he gets an end product. Højlund's in a goal-scoring position again. He just cannot get enough on it. He's level with the near post and it goes out on the far post, far side of the goal. But again, he's there. Keep serving him.
So close for Rasmus Højlund too. You might remember back sort of late November into early December time, he'd a run where he got 5 goals in 4 games, and Manchester United fans thought, right, this is it, he's clicked, he's found his stride. He's not scored since that run. Kubo challenged by Aiden Heaven, who continues to impress, plays a little 1-2, tries to return it to Garnacho, and it's picked up by Munoz. And Real Sociedad have it here with Geraldo Becker on the left-hand side. Takes on Dalot, delivers a low cross. Matthijs de Ligt on the edge of the 6-yard box, takes no chances, clears the ball away up to the halfway line. 1-1 on the night here, 2-2 on aggregate at Old Trafford. Dion Dublin.
I think if he can just continue to keep Zubimende quiet in the middle of the park, Mendes as well, and Marin, because they like to go through the thirds. If those 3 players aren't dominating, they don't seem to dominate games. So keep going through the midfield at pace, miss them out, get into your final third. That's the way.
If you're just joining our coverage, both teams had scored penalties after just over a quarter of an hour tonight. It's the earliest that there's ever been in the Europa League that both teams have scored a penalty kick. 1-1 it is. That's how the first leg finished in Spain. All square on an evening that we must get a winner, even if it takes the extra time, even if it takes a penalty shootout. Takefusa Kubo, right wing for Real Sociedad. Quick feet to get away from Dorgu. Gives it back to Elizondo. Just slower, slightly slower pace at the moment for Real Sociedad. Then the injection of pace from Kubo. Look at him, dribble to the edge of the area, shoots, blocked by De Ligt. He has got twinkle toes, he's got magic in those feet, does Takefusa Kubo, and he's very unfortunate not to get the shot properly away there. Good block by De Ligt.
Yeah, Kubo, I mean, I'm not expecting anything from that, but he's got 3 red shirts around him. He literally just wriggles away, finds himself on the edge of the D with a shot on, and De Ligt has to block it because it's going goalwards. Lovely little bit of skill, by the way.
Sociedad through Nea Figuered, turns and rolls it back to the goalkeeper Alex Romero, who was part of Spain's Euros squad in the summer. Clearance there by Zubeldia goes into the Manchester United half, where Onana will come well outside his penalty area and play the short pass to Matthijs de Ligt. So 1-1 here at 32 minutes on the big stadium clock as Mazraoui gives it to Dalot on the right-hand side, infield to Casemiro, puts his studs on the ball under pressure from Marin, gives it back to Mazraoui once again. Casemiro, Bruno Fernandes, this is all around the halfway line mark. Bruno Fernandes then sends it down that right channel, way too far in front of Dalot, and there's plenty of time for Munoz to get back there, to roll it back to the goalkeeper Romero, who's very confident here as they play it around their own penalty area. Real Sociedad looking to beat the Manchester United press here, and they might well succeed and do it. Brais Mendes, good work from Xerxes just to hold him up, and Manchester United can be pleased with that. They pressed and they've contained. Yeah, I mean, Real Sociedad beat the press, but then Manchester United's second line of press made them and forced them back towards their own goalkeeper, so that was good play. Good shape when Man United were out of possession. Just let you know, plenty live football to come over the weekend on 5 Live. Ipswich against Nottingham Forest is our pick of the games at 3 o'clock on Saturday. Ian Dennis will be round the grounds. Arsenal against Chelsea from 1:30 on Sunday. We'll also bring you Fulham against Tottenham on 5 Sports Extra from 1:30 on Sunday as well, with Leicester against Manchester City later on. That's a 7 o'clock kick-off on Sunday, but you can listen to all of those games across 5 Live and Sports Extra. Rasmus Højlund is fouled inside the centre circle, and that is a free kick to Manchester United. Aguerd is remonstrating with the referee, but the decision has been made. You can also listen to live commentary of the League Cup final on Sunday. Liverpool against Newcastle. That is a 4:30 start with correspondent John Murray, Andy and Dennis and Stephen Warnock, our commentary team at Wembley on Sunday. Tonight our focus is the Europa League. Bruno Fernandes, who's already scored a penalty tonight, standing over a free kick which is near the centre circle, but a chance for Manchester United to push bodies forward with just over 10 minutes remaining in this first half at Old Trafford. Here it comes, the free kick from Bruno Fernandes. Loads of backspin on that. Casemiro jumps on the edge of the penalty area. Dorgu tries to prod it forward. Should be cleared away, and it is, by Bres Mendes. Comes back to Bruno Fernandes, who'd taken the free kick. So that shin pads it forward. Not accurate, disappointed by his standards, but he didn't have much choice there, Bruno Fernandes. And that returns possession to Sociedad again.
I think tonight I've seen Zirkzee very close to Højlund. So Højlund's playing in that 9 position. Zirkzee's kind of playing in front of him in a little half circle, sometimes on the left hand side, sometimes in front of him, and that's making life a little bit easier for Højlund trying to get hold of the ball. If Zirkzee's playing the 9, Højlund does that little 10 roll, so they've got a nice understanding, and it's working better tonight for United.
Again, the high press from Manchester United. Garnacho sprinting in on Munoz. You hear the roar, and that'll tell you he got there. He slid across, he puts it out for a throw, but it pens Sociedad back, and there has been just something different tonight. There is a hunger, there's a mood that we've not seen very often from Manchester United. But will it be enough? As it is, they don't have the advantage in this tie. It's all square.
Yeah, they're taking responsibility tonight by the looks of the players in red shirts. United players seem to be happy to be taking the ball under pressure, playing a pass that may be getting cut out, but they're taking that risk. I think you have to take risks in the right areas in order to beat teams like Sociedad tonight.
Well, we don't know who's going through here, but we pretty much know now who the winner of this tie will face in the quarterfinals, because Lyon have taken the lead on the night against Steaua Bucharest. So it's Lyon 1, Steaua Bucharest 0. It is 4-1 to the French club on aggregate. So a trip to France, it would appear, is the likely outcome for whoever wins this, as Dorgu plays a pass. Tries to receive a pass from Aiden Heaven, and then he's fouled by Elizondo. Free kick to Manchester United midway inside their own half. It's been a big week for Manchester United. The Jim Ratcliffe interview on its own got really big headlines. You know, we mentioned the club was nearly going to go bust by Christmas had that takeover not occurred when it did. Spoke then a couple of days later about spending $2 billion on a new stadium, folks, from bust to spending $2 billion. And now here we are after individual players have been criticised by name by the owner in a game of enormous importance that might yet contribute to salvaging Manchester United's season and keen bringing European football to the club next campaign, which would financially be very beneficial. 1-1 on the evening. Real Sociedad in possession with Marin on the far side, and no room for him to manoeuvre, but he does win a throw-in. Throw-in to Real Sociedad about 15 yards from the quarter flag that they attack down the left-hand side.
Yeah, they've done well. I'm watching the centre-halves as well. United centre-halves, they're talking, they're organising, they're pointing. Heaven at the far post there, just behind De Ligt, telling him that his player is just coming over his shoulder. So he opens up his shoulder so he can see his striker much better.
Throw high into the penalty area, met by the forehead of Mazraoui, who rose well. Dalot clears it away. Straight though to Zubimendi. And now Casemiro stretching, little bit of ball juggling, and he's done well there, Casemiro. 2 opponents around him, and Bruno Fernandes sells a little dummy that's worked, and Manchester United come over the halfway line. That was a foul on Bruno Fernandes, but the referee correctly waves play on because Garnacho attacking the penalty area, challenged by Munoz. Now Manchester United wanted to go back for the foul, but too much play had taken place, and the referee waves play on. I do think it was the right decision, though, to play the advantage. Kubo, he goes down, he wants a free kick, no foul though. Referee says it's a good challenge by Dorgu, and Manchester United trying to move through the gears again.
Good game, really good game. Both teams working hard with and without the ball.
Here's Garnacho attacking the penalty area down the right hand side. 7 minutes to go to the break at Old Trafford. Bruno Fernandes has a little look up. Xerxes in the penalty area. Højlund's in there. He gives it short to Diogo Dalot. Clever ball to the byline. Here's the low cross in from Garnacho, and it's shoveled away out for a corner. Højlund was ready, but it didn't reach him, and it's a corner to Manchester United. Still 1-1 on the night.
Yeah, good work, patient play down the right hand side for United. Bruno Fernandes, Dalot just putting a nice little slide rule ball in there for Garnacho. Then he tries to cross the ball into a dangerous area. 3 red shirts in there. Positive, getting from the edge of the box into the box to try and score a goal.
Corner kick. It's been prepared by Bruno Fernandes. right-hand side of the pitch as Manchester United come forward. 39th, 40th minute of the game. Manchester United have sent everyone up. Mazraoui is lurking about 15 yards outside the box. Everyone else is up in and around the penalty area. Here it comes from Bruno Fernandes. Played towards the edge of the box, towards Dorgu. Does he fancy it? Oh, he does! Full on the volley and just fractionally over the top. That would have been spectacular from Dorgu.
Yeah, it's a great corner. All the red shirts sprint into the box like it's going to be an in-swinger. Out-swinger it was, from Bruno. And Dorgu's there just on the corner of the D, the far D, and he just catches it. He doesn't catch it how he wants to, but he's free as a bird to do exactly what he wants with it. Referee slightly in his way just as the ball arrives to him, but he just didn't catch it right.
There's an obligation as a commentator to reference Paul Scholes here, who once or twice did that, didn't
Yes.
he? There's full-on volleys from corners on the edge of the penalty area. But Patrick Dorgu, who scored on his international debut for Denmark in September, he's never scored for Manchester United. That would have been some way to do it.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure if he hears this commentary, he's going to clip that bit up. Him and Paul Scholes in the same conversation.
Here's Xerxes slaloming away from 2 tackles, trying to thread a ball through for Rasmus Højlund. Good stretch by Nerfagerd to get there first. Manchester United trying good things though. This is Casemiro. It's all going to come back for a foul, and Becker on the far side. Free kick to Real Sociedad. 20-25 yards inside their own territory. So 5 minutes to go to the break here, and it is 1-1 in the night, 2-2 on aggregate. Manchester United though showing excitement, showing a bit of quality. They're asking questions of Sociedad more than they are having to answer questions at the other end.
It's just better body language, better energy, and I just believe that they're enjoying playing this way.
Here comes Dorgu. Runs into a bit of a blind alley there, but he's been fouled by Alastondo. Free kick to Manchester United midway inside Real Sociedad territory. Well, if you're a fan of the XG stats, and I know many people aren't too bothered in that, but it's a metric widely used in the game, Manchester United's current XG, the most they have had in the first half of a match under Ruben Amorim. So that means they are creating more chances, they have a higher likelihood of scoring than in any first half of any game. I mean, he's got to be delighted with that, the manager.
Yeah, without a doubt, and I think he's the way he set his team up, I don't know what it is, it's not so much the formation, I just think it's the mindset they've come out with today is very, very different.
5 Live on BBC Sounds at Old Trafford. Bruno Fernandes, now this is an interesting one. He is closer to the halfway line there than he was to the edge of the penalty area. But with everyone expecting him to cross, he's tried a shot. Not a great shot, and it went wide and it went high, and it was, that's a crazy idea. I mean, he's looking outside the box to come up with something ridiculous, but that would have been ridiculous.
Yes, I don't know how far he is. As cuts of the grass go, he's about 10 yards away from the halfway line, so not the correct decision on that occasion for the captain.
Again, if it goes in, we never stop talking about it. Yeah. But Ruben Amorim, I don't think was impressed with that. The camera cut away to a close-up of his face, and he had a sort of bewildered expression as to what exactly Bruno Fernandes, who's dug Manchester United out of plenty holes this season, but quite what he was trying to do there. Here comes Sociedad on the other end. Kubo taking on Aiden Heaven. Good strong defending again. Aiden Heaven, who tumbles off the pitch and onto the advertising board, but it is going to be a goal kick. He was able to shield it out there. Kubo thought he was getting a corner. Sociedad aren't happy with that decision, but it's impressive again from Aiden Heaven.
Yeah, and I think Aiden Heaven here on this left-hand side for United, he's playing against Kubo there, and I do believe it's like playing against an under-18 player. He's got such quick feet, so he's probably used to playing against players.
That's such a good point.
With that kind of fast feet and that kind of height and stature. So it's not going to be anything new to him.
That is a good point. Bruno Fernandes has played a great pass here. Patrick Dorgu scorching his way to the edge of the area, shoots low but straight at the keeper. Brilliant build-up. Dorgu will be disappointed with the final dispatch of the shots, but it's Manchester United making the most dangerous chances again.
Yeah, that's Dorgu just being a little bit inexperienced there. He's got to roll that to Højlund. Højlund goes from centre forward, he goes round him as he's sprinting into the left-hand channel. And Dorgu's just got to roll it in there to give him that chance. He works so hard to get there, Højlund, he does.
Manchester United 1, Real Sociedad 1, 2-2 on aggregate. Dorgu shielding the ball out of play, but it did touch him. That's going to be a throw into Real Sociedad on the right-hand side. If you're joining our coverage late, Oyarzabal gave Real Sociedad the lead. Penalty Bruno Fernandes equalised, penalty, 2 spot kicks in 16 minutes. Continuing a long track record of Manchester United conceding the opening goal in home games this season. As Zubimendi here tries to create something inside a very busy penalty area, but eventually runs out of room and the ball goes out for a goal kick to Manchester United.
Yeah, I don't think Real Sociedad want this game to be quick. They want to play at their pace. They want to play at La Liga pace, and United have taken that out of their hands. Have taken charge of this game in regards to the pace of it, and it's suited United. It's the Manchester United way.
Last 30 seconds here until the fourth official raises the board for the extra minutes. We mentioned about Manchester United conceding the opening goal. Last 13 home games out of all competitions, 11 matches, Manchester United have conceded the open goal. We're into stoppages, 4 minutes to be added on. Dorgu in possession for Manchester United, gives it back to Xerxes, rolls it into his own half. Aiden Heaven into De Ligt, and now there is a call at Rangers. Hayley Barber.
There is, and after dominating the first half, it is Rangers who go behind Fenerbahce through Sebastian Szymanski's volley inside the penalty area with just a minute to go before the break. Has Fenerbahce leading here at Ibrox. It is Rangers 0, Fenerbahce 1. 3-2 Rangers now lead on aggregate.
Very interesting, Ellie. What was it that Jose Mourinho said after the first leg? He said it ain't over yet. Goal at Bromley in League 2. Bromley against Walsall tonight. Emily Herbert.
Walsall get their equaliser. It's the former Bromley man, Amachi, who slots it home from close range, and it's against the run of play. Bromley have been on top in this game, but with 4 minutes of added time, it's Bromley 1, Walsall 1.
Thanks very much. Tottenham leading 1-0 tonight against Alkmaar in the Europa League. Chelsea still 0-0 on the line against Copenhagen. Chelsea have got a 2-1 advantage from the first leg. That's approaching half-time at Stamford Bridge. Here we've played almost one of the 4 minutes being added on for stoppage at the end of a pulsating half. What a ball, Bruno Fernandes to Xerxes, who doesn't control it. Wasn't an easy one to control, but he'll still be disappointed. Great pass from Bruno Fernandes, who's showing his range of abilities tonight.
I mean, that's a never-ending range that Bruno Fernandes has, to be honest with you.
I'm going to apologise, it was Casemiro, sorry Theo.
It's not a bad pass though.
Here they come again. Bruno Fernandes inside the penalty area, can't get a touch on it, holds his head in his hands. The loose ball bounces for Romero.
Oh, it's a great run, you know, and Bruno Fernandes is in as well. He's trying to put Højlund in, but he's not by the side of him. If he can turn and take it himself as he rolls into the 18-yard box, if he can get that under control, he's about 8 yards out on the angle.
Europa League place in the last 8 at place, and there's been a bit of action late in the first half at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea against Copenhagen. John Southall.
Well, it's actually half-time now. Chelsea 0, Copenhagen 0. Have to say Chelsea have been second best throughout this half, and you think Enzo Maresca might have to make changes here. Half-time Chelsea 0, Copenhagen 0.
Thanks very much, John. Manchester United, who've got back-to-back away Premier League games after this. They play at Leicester at the weekend, and they play at Forest after the international break. Manchester United's next Premier League home game is the Manchester Derby, when Manchester City will come here. This is Zubimendi for Real Sociedad, gives it to Oyarzabal. Nice little weave into the penalty area, tries to shoot. Casemiro is stretching, can't clear it away. Masraoui heads the ball, still not away. Sits up nicely, shot on the turn by Marin, and blocked away and out for a corner. Corner to Real Sociedad. Stoppages ahead of half-time, 2-2 on aggregate.
Yeah, bodies on the line. Red bodies on the line, making sure that nothing finds its way through to the keeper. Blocked from Casemiro, which has gone out for a corner, but it was Aiden Heaven first, and then it was Casemiro.
Corner kick to the visitors from the Basque country. The Sociedad fans are housed behind the goal that their team is attacking in this first half. Here comes the delivery, high and swirling and met by the head of Aiden Heaven. Becker tries to volley it back in, good shot, well saved by Onana. He was a long way out there, Ronaldo Becker, but he caught it very sweetly.
Yeah, it's a great strike. He's 25 yards out, just keeps it down with the laces. Bit of a sidewinder, hits it well. Onana straight behind it though, no danger.
It's end to end as this first half draws towards a close at Old Trafford. This is De Ligt looking for Xerxes, fractionally too far ahead of him. Manchester United tonight, who've gone for that direct ball so frequently, And this time it goes out for a goal kick. It is half-time at Ibrox. Rangers against Fenerbahce. Back to Ailey.
Yeah, a really feisty affair, one in which Rangers have dominated but find themselves trailing thanks to Sebastian Szymanski's spectacular effort that flew past Butland. Their only shot on target in the first half, they struggled to create anything. Rangers had a number of opportunities but couldn't find the finish, and then that sucker punch. It is Rangers 0, Fenerbahce 1 on the night, 3-2 on aggregate.
They've reached the break at Tottenham as well. They've reached the break here at Old Trafford. So 1-1 between Manchester United and Real Sociedad as the players make their way towards the tunnel away to our left-hand side. Oyarzábal's penalty after De Ligt was deemed to have fouled the same player, put the Spanish team in front, and then after a foul on Rasmus Højlund in the penalty area, Bruno Fernandes stepped up to score from 12 yards for Manchester United. We've a big second half to come here. For the moment, 1-1 on the night. It's half-time at Tottenham 2. Here is Andy Stevenson.
They deservedly lead 1-0 on the night. They pulled level on aggregate. The goal came on 26 minutes, a first for the club by Frenchman Wilson Odobert. He owes a lot though to Son Heung-min, who charged down a clearance from AZ Alkmaar centre-back Wouter Goos. The ball fell to Dominic Solanke. He calmly squared it to Odobert, who fired it into the net, and Spurs have looked so much more confident at the back with Van de Ven and Romero in the centre. So on the night it's Tottenham 1, AZ Alkmaar 0, level at 1-1 on aggregate.
And it's half-time in League 2 at Bromley. Emily Herbert.
It's one apiece at the break. Ben Thompson with the opener for Bromley on the half volley from the edge of the box. Walsall skied the majority of their chances, but against the run of play, the former Bromley man Levi Manchi able to control it from close range, spin and then slot it home. So at half-time it's one apiece. Bromley 1, Walsall 1.
Thanks very much, Ellie. So good atmosphere here around Old Trafford, an entertaining first half, but no doubt, Ellie, that there is work to do for Ruben Amorim's team. They've responded well to a setback tonight, but they haven't got in front on the night yet, and there is a huge 45 minutes of Manchester United season to come. 1-1 at half-time, 2-2 at aggregate at Old Trafford.
Yeah, well, responding was what we talked about pretty much straight away, Rene, wasn't it, when that first penalty was scored for Real Sociedad. So how are Manchester United going to respond? And they did respond. 11 shots in that first half.
Yeah, they did after that first penalty, which was a bit of a setback, but after Bruno's penalty I thought they were really good. They kept opening Real Sociedad up, and they could have been in front, but like Connor says, a big second half to come.
And you said, Dion, at one point, when about Rasmus Højlund, it said, right, he's there, get the service into him. I thought that is a striker speaking, that's a centre forward speaking right there.
Well, yeah, and he's doing it. Again, he's working hard. I know that Rennie said there it's a prerequisite, but he keeps doing it and he keeps doing it. You can give him enough service and start putting the ball in the back of it. He's been so unlucky tonight. He really has. If he keeps doing that, he will score in the second half if he keeps servicing him.
We had Michael Brown with us in the studio in just for the kick-off in the first hour of the show. He's back home now, and you've been watching from home, haven't you, Michael? I mean, what are you made of Tottenham first and foremost? Because a goal for them, again, we talked about them needing a performance at home as well to get the crowd on their side. Have they put that performance in?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's obviously room for improvement. I think in the forward areas, you look at Son, he's going really well down the wider areas, causing problems and getting involved, obviously winning the ball back for the goal. Robert just stroking at home, great work from Solanke. But, it's about building confidence. I think when you have that security of the two centre-backs that we talked about pre-game, I think it gives you much more confidence, and I think they're sat in a really good place. I think at half-time now it'll be a different type of team talk. It'll be about controlling, keeping up on the front foot. And it doesn't change too much, but I think it's encouraging.
How many screens are you watching on at home?
1, 2, 3 and 4, having a look across all there is, as usual, like we all do. It's entertaining, obviously, right across the board, but it's going to be about the result, isn't it? It's not about who entertains today for Spurs. Yes, we could say they're looking positive and some certain senior players are playing well, but he's going to be judged at the end of the game whether they go through in the tie.
Absolutely. Perfect setup for you. We've got all the screens as well here in the studio in Salford, and we'll hear more from Rene and second half commentary to come from Old Trafford. 1-1 at half time, 2-2 on aggregate, and don't forget extra time and penalties are an option. I think Rene's putting quite a lot of money on that being the case later on this evening. We will see, though. Let's get an update from Indian Wells in the tennis, and Iga Swiatek is through to the semi-finals.
Yes, revenge for losing to Jung Chin-wen in the Olympic silver medal match, or rather the Olympic semi-final, I should say, Ellie, last August. Swiatek winning 6-3, 6-3 to reach the semi-finals. Denmark's Holger Rune is also in the last four. And into the final for the first time at WTA 1000 level is the British player Olivia Nichols, alongside Teresa Mihailikova. They've just beaten the fifth seeds Shea and Zhang, 7-5, 6-3.
Thank you very much, Russell. So we're going to have a little bit of a breather for a few minutes here on 5 Live Sport this evening. We will be in Melbourne in a few minutes' time ahead of the opening race of the 2025 Formula One season. But let's get the news first here on 5 Live with Tim Daly.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Yes, good evening. President Trump says he's getting good signals on where the United States is with Russia when it comes to creating a peace settlement for the Ukraine war. He's been speaking after Vladimir Putin announced he agreed with current proposals, while adding they created numerous questions. Emily Ferris is a Russia expert at the defence and security think tank RUSI.
As we know, Putin does not like being pushed into decision-making, especially not decision-making quickly. And what this ceasefire being tabled did was really make Russia seem like the belligerent party if they said, frankly, anything but that they agreed to a ceasefire. When he says that he wants to work out all of these details, I wonder if that's just to try to get the process a bit mired in the bureaucracy so that he doesn't really need to commit to it.
A teenager from South London's been jailed for at least 23 years for repeatedly stabbing a 15-year-old girl after she stood up for his ex-girlfriend. Hassan Sentamu was found guilty of murdering Ellie Ann Andam after a jury rejected his claim that autism affected his ability to control his behaviour. Opposition MPs and unions say they're concerned about the government's decision to abolish NHS England, which oversees the running of the health service in the country. The union Unison says more than 10,000 people could lose their jobs. The leader of the Conservative Party, Kemi Badenoch, has welcomed the move, but she's not confident about how Labour will manage the service.
I often found that with many arm's-length bodies, ministers took the responsibility even when they didn't take the decisions. And I think that this means that Labour cannot hide if things go wrong, but then they can genuinely take the credit if things go well. But I don't have high hopes because Labour has direct control of health in Wales, and that's doing a lot worse than the rest of the country.
And the family of the actor Gene Hackman and his wife Betsy have asked a court in California to block the release of photos taken as part of the investigation into their deaths. The couple were found at their home in Santa Fe last month. And that is the 5 Live News.
F1. Formula One is back.
With 24 Grand Prix weekends.
In 21 countries.
Across 5 continents.
It's all lights to the lights and foot to the floor.
I mean, we're on the edge of our seats here.
And it all begins on Sunday at the Albert Park Circuit in Melbourne, Australia.
To the outside, into the left-hander. F1.
The Australian Grand Prix.
Sunday morning from 4.
On 5 Live.
And BBC Sounds.
This is 5 Live Sport.
With Eleanor Oldroyd.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
So second half commentary to come here on 5 Live Sport, live from Old Trafford, with it all square at half-time and the potential for extra time and penalties in the Europa League round of 16. But as you were just hearing, the 2025 F1 season gets underway this weekend with the Australian Grand Prix in Melbourne. The big headline is that it'll be Lewis Hamilton's first race since his move to Ferrari. Let's hear from the 7-time world champion now.
I'm very, very fortunate. I've had this amazing career here in Formula One, and starting with McLaren here in 2007 was an epic feeling, and then starting with a new team again with Mercedes was again incredibly special. I think this is very reminiscent probably of my first year. I think for all those years I've gone up and down the paddock looking at and seeing the red garage, and now I'm actually in the red garage, so it's been a long time coming, and to think that this is going to be my first Grand Prix, one of those other firsts with the team, as I experienced that all through the year, it's pretty. I feel very honoured and very grateful to have the opportunity. This is the most exciting period of my life, and so I'm really just enjoying it, and I'm so excited to get in the car tomorrow.
Well, joining us now live from Melbourne is our F1 commentator Harry Benjamin and former McLaren mechanic Mark Priestley. Hello, both.
Morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Melbourne. Guys, I was looking on Lewis Hamilton's Instagram feed earlier on today, and they've done a spoof of the Ferris Bueller's Day Off film, where they've got the scene where they drive the red Ferrari, and then Lewis Hamilton is the car park attendant who has to park it for them. And there is an excitement about this, which makes me feel like Lewis Hamilton's like a kid at Christmas with that red Ferrari. What do you reckon, Harry? Is that the sense that you're getting as well?
Absolutely, he really is. This is like a new lease of life for Lewis Hamilton. We were sat in the drivers' press conference yesterday with Lewis Hamilton, who's actually sat alongside his replacement at Mercedes, Kimi Antonelli, and who is only 18 years old, whereas Lewis Hamilton is now in his 40s. And it was Hamilton who was all smiles and relaxed and cool, calm and collected. And he's a Ferrari driver. He's wearing reds. He feels like he's got a chance now to get that 8th world title. And he feels like he's got some good equipment underneath him to at least challenge from the off this year. I think it's a really exciting time for Lewis Hamilton, almost like he's back being a rookie again.
Yeah, so he's got that excitement of being in the red, driving the red car, Mark, and, you know, he's relaxed, he's experienced. Could this be the 8th title?
Do you know what? I think it could be joining Ferrari at exactly the right time, you know, because over the last 2 or 3 years, Ferrari have been just gradually creeping back towards the front. You know, even at the end of 2024, they were genuinely in a title fight for the Constructors' Championship. Didn't quite make it work in the end. That went to McLaren, but they are a team that have been progressing, so he could have just timed this perfectly. And I think it was also exactly what he needed. Because if you think about his run at Mercedes, unprecedented levels of success, but the last 2 or 3 years genuinely been a real struggle for Lewis, and we saw him sort of a little bit down at times, low on energy, and I think he just needed a change. He needed to freshen things up, to re-energise himself, and that's exactly what it feels like has happened.
So do you feel like, you know, Max Verstappen is going to be feeling under pressure from a whole range of areas, Harry, not just from Ferrari?
Well, Max Verstappen will tell you he doesn't feel pressure, but he certainly was. He was a bit edgy in the build-up to the weekend so far, and Red Bull, and at least Verstappen, and the energy that he's giving off, and what we've seen, and what we can somewhat deduce from testing, is that they are not perhaps where the likes of McLaren are and Ferrari, and it's going to be tight in that sort of little period behind McLaren, who are all expected to be fast. And Verstappen, well, he's going for a 5th world title. It might well be this first year where he doesn't quite have the equipment underneath him to defend it like he has done the last couple of years, and that will bring added pressure, not only from on the driving side, but also there are still question marks over the internals at Red Bull. They've lost Adrian Newey now. This is the first full year they will not have his services. How is that going to affect the car development moving forward? There are lots of unknowns within Red Bull, and that makes things unstable, which doesn't mean it's going to be a nice smooth sailing operation for Max Verstappen.
Yeah, has Lando Norris got the equipment underneath him, Mark?
Yeah, I think he might well do, you know. They learnt a lot last year at McLaren, both from the both driving perspective from Lando and his teammate Oscar Piastri, who is, of course, at his home race this weekend. But also the team learnt a huge amount about how to develop a car, but also how to operate at the very highest levels, and that resulted in a world championship. I think they could well hit the ground running here. They look good out of testing. They've made all those learnings. If they put it all into practice, they could have a season where they start strong. They won the championship last year, but only really got going around Miami, some way into the season. If they can start strong, they could have a really, really good campaign.
Does this all add up to one of the most exciting Formula One seasons, or the most anticipated F1 seasons for a while, Harry, if not ever?
Oh, absolutely. I think this could be one of the best seasons of all time for Formula One. We've just been speaking about, obviously, Lewis Hamilton, a big name moving to Ferrari, but we have got possibly a multiple drivers championship fight on the cards. We think Norris versus Piastri will be a thing. That is going to be an interesting team dynamic on its own. How's Charles Leclerc going to stack up against his teammate Lewis Hamilton? But also, what about the likes of all the new rookies we've got on the grid? 6 new faces, fresh blood in Formula One, scattered from the top of the grid all the way to the very bottom. And in that midfield, it is going to be even tighter. It's the last year of the current regulations before we switch things up for 2026, so there's not that much room to grow when it comes to developing these cars. So it's going to be tight, it's going to be competitive. And I'm going to go on a limb and going to say it's going to be the best year of Formula 1 we've ever had.
Well, let's hope so. Listen, we've got lots more to talk about, I'm sure, as the weekend unfolds. Harry Benjamin and former McLaren mechanic Mark Priestley, commentary of Practice 1 on Sports Extra from 1:25 and then Practice 2 from 4:55 in the morning. Let's get an update from Chelsea against Copenhagen, already underway in the second half in the Conference League. John Southall.
Well, Chelsea 0, Copenhagen 0. Chelsea leading 2 on an aggregate. We said at half-time that Enzo Maresco probably had to make changes, and he has done. Mark Cucurella and Cole Palmer have both come on for Achimpong and Fernandes. Chelsea so poor in the first half, yet to have a shot in the game. Well, they've made changes at half-time. It's Chelsea 0, Copenhagen 0.
So Ruben Amorim making his way along the touchline at Old Trafford, back with Connor and Dion shortly. René Mullenstein going into this second half. What will he have said, do you think, in that dressing room at half time?
Keep going. I think it was very positive after that, bringing Fernandes penalty. I think they played well. I think they dominated, like Dion pointed out. I think Man United dominated that midfield area. And they close them up. But I can also see the reaction from Real Sociedad. They want to stay in the game as long as they can. Maybe nick something. They don't want to get too expensive, I think. And, maybe try to see if they can nick something right at the end of the game.
Underway in the second half. Here's Connor.
Thanks very much, Ellie. Yes, back underway. No changes over the break. 1-1 between Manchester United and Real Sociedad in this second leg. In the Europa League, Manchester United defending the Stretford end for this second half. They played from left to right as we look down. Sociedad in their change strip tonight. They normally wear the blue and white stripes, but they've chosen their gold shirts for this evening. And the teams, with Andre Onana in goal for Manchester United, 3 central defenders, Mazraoui, who's on the ball at the moment, De Ligt and Aiden Heaven making his first ever start. Dallow's cross from the right hand side here is headed away by Nea Figueiredo. It goes back out to Dallow, who allows it bounce because he knows it's going out for a Manchester United throw. Dallow one side, Patrick Dorgu on the other. Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes are in the middle of the midfield. It's a front three of Xerxes, Højlund and Garnacho. So see that team in a moment. Here comes the throw in for Dallow, who runs up that little incline, arches his back, sends in a long throw. Casemiro beaten in the air by Aguerd. The loose ball has fallen down to Garnacho, who tees up Bruno Fernandes. Little dink towards De Ligt to the far post, but too many defenders back there. And Kubo miscues as he tries to clear, so Manchester United are going to get another chance here. De Ligt, right foot across into the penalty area, needed to be better than that. Aguerd, again, well positioned, he's good at that. And Manchester United win it back again. There's a hunger from Ruben Amorim's team, who had more shots in that first half than they have in any game that he's been manager of Manchester United so far. So there have been positives tonight, but there's still nothing between them in aggregate. Dallow on the right hand side feeds the ball infield to Bruno Fernandes, 10 yards outside the penalty area. 1-2 and Xerxes shoots again. Good save, Romero. Down goes Dorgu. They want a penalty. They're going to get a penalty. What a start to the second half. 2 minutes after the break. Shot saved by the keeper, but as it came back out to Patrick Dorgu, Elizondo has been judged to have taken him down, and the French referee Benoit Bastien points to the spot. Now Elizondo is furious. He said he stood his ground, that he did not lunge out towards Dorgu, but the on-field decision is penalty, and the video assistant referee will have a good look at this. Dion Dublin's alongside me. Dion, you've just seen a replay. What's your call?
I think it's a penalty. I do think it's a penalty. Yeah, the defender is actually hands behind his back, knees tucked in, but he knows exactly what he's doing. He's not got out the way. I know he doesn't have to get out the way, but he knows what he's doing. There's a bit of a lean in there. I think that's a penalty. And I've got to say, some of the football United have played in the second half, Bruno into Xerxes, layoff, then it was Bruno into Højlund, and then he laid it off to Xerxes. Lovely, quick, one-touch football. It's like watching Manchester United.
Well, there's so much I want to talk about here. First of all, we could tell you that they're still looking at that the VAR review isn't over. Mazraoui at the moment is policing the penalty spot, and I think this is in relation to Julian Alvarez last night. He doesn't want any Sociedad players to scuff up around that penalty spot that could lead to an uncertain grounding for a planted foot to try and score. We're going to start them in just a moment, but go on, Dion.
Wouldn't it be better not to do that? And then if there is a player doing it, you can see him doing it. It's clear as day.
Right. Well, we've got news of a call at Tottenham. Andy, I'm going to risk going to you, but be ready to throw it back to me quickly if we need. Andy Stevenson and Spurs.
Spurs lead 2-0. It's James Maddison with a typically calm finish after being played in by Son. 2-0 to Tottenham on the night. 2-1 now on aggregate.
Thank you very much, Andy. So this last 16 tie of the Europa League, which has felt like a penalty shootout over the two legs. This is now the fourth penalty that there's been in the tie. Two of them for Sociedad, both scored. And now this, the second one of the night for Bruno Fernandes. And this time up against Romero again. And the Spanish goalkeeper wearing all blue, jumping up and down, bouncing off the bottom of the crossbar, trying to get that to wobble. Here comes Bruno Fernandes again. Can he score again from the spot? Early stages of the second half. And he puts the keeper the wrong way. And Manchester United lead 2-1 on the night. They hold a 3-2 aggregate lead. What a start to the second half as Bruno Fernandes delivers again.
He looks unfazable. We had a close-up of his face on our screens before the referee blew the whistle. He puffed his cheeks out, he knew exactly what he was going to do, and he just rolls it in the back of the net, left of the keeper, right as he looks. Absolutely cool as you like.
Well, even after the video assistant review, it's only 5 minutes since play resumed for the second half, and Manchester United will feel that this performance tonight, which has been on the front foot, which has tried to lay down a marker all evening, and a reminder, you know, all the talk of the new stadium for Manchester United, a reminder of the atmosphere that Old Trafford is able to create when the team perform their stuff.
It's because the fans are seeing what they want to see. They're seeing a Man United side that are playing good football, they're defending well, they're talking to each other, they're making sure that their passes reach their target, they're finishing well. So much better.
Xerxes strong in the challenge to win the ball away from Elizondo. He was the player who gave away the penalty a moment ago. He's still down here. And Aidan Heaven, I think, being urged by Casemiro to put the ball out of play, even though there was no obligation to do that. But they want to see that Elizondo is all right. Wow. 2 penalties in the night for Bruno Fernandes. He's only the second Manchester United player to ever score 2 penalties in a major European game. Wayne Rooney did it some, 13, 14 years ago. But Bruno Fernandes will be on a hat-trick of penalties at this stage, the way the game is going. 2-1 on the night to Ruben Amorim's team. Play back underway. Mazraoui has it on the edge of the penalty. There's been so much that has happened since the break. I'll never give you a full rundown of the Sociedad team. Alex Romero, their goalkeeper. Elizondo, the right back. Munoz, the left back. Aguerd on loan from West Ham. And Zubeldia are the 2 central defenders. Zubeldia, who was booked in the first half, he will miss any potential quarter-final should they go through. There's a goal at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea against Copenhagen in the Conference League. John Southall.
Chelsea's first shot on target, and they have the goal. Chelsea 1, Copenhagen 0. Kieran Dewsbury did really well on the left of the penalty area. Bulldozed his way through a couple of challenges and finished into the bottom right-hand corner. Chelsea 1, Copenhagen 0. 3-1 on aggregate.
Thanks very much, Kieran Dewsbury, who's probably played more in the Europa League this season than he has domestically. So that's a big moment for him. So for the English clubs at the moment, Tottenham leading, Manchester United leading, Chelsea leading. In terms of British interest, Rangers trailing on the night but still leading on aggregate. We have 53 minutes played at Old Trafford, and the feeling that this isn't over yet. There could be a few twists and turns yet to go. Dion Dublin.
Yeah, there's a lot to come in this game yet, and I'm pretty sure there's more goals as well. I was just watching Bruno Fernandes there, just trying to be the conductor again, telling Onana what to do, how quick to do it.
Here comes Højlund on the attack down the right-hand side. Sociedad are getting ready to make a double change. Garnacho, edge of the penalty area, rolls it for Dalot, sends in a low cross that was blocked anyway by Brez Mendes. Real Sociedad are able to clear the ball away, but Casemiro with a calm touch gets it back under control, and it's with Matthijs de Ligt away to our left.
And that's really good play as well. You've got de Ligt in behind Oyarzabal, and you've got Mazraoui in front. That's good defending, that's concentration. As you're going and you're attacking, make sure you're right defensively as well at the back.
Long ball forward down the left-hand side. Dorgu was putting pressure on Elistondo. Oh, Dorgu's done brilliantly here. Into the penalty area, tried to tee it up for Hoyland. And the pass was cut out by Alex Romero, the goalkeeper. Hoyland was ready to tap it into the empty net, but the pass never got through.
Yeah, Elistondo there, just trying to let that ball run out for a goal kick, but I do believe that Dorgu was far too strong, used his strength, kept it in, just tried to steer it across the box for Hoyland. Keeper read it.
It's going to be a triple change for Sociedad. Their coach, Imanol Aguasil, is getting ready to bring on 3 different players at once. Ander Barrenetxea started the first leg. He's about to come on. John Aramburu came on in the first leg. And the third player who's going to come on is Bernat Torrientes, and he started the first leg as well. So 3 of the regulars coming on here. And let's see who is going to depart. Torrientes is a central midfielder. Barrenetxea is a winger, an attacking player. He's going to replace Geraldo Becker. And on comes John Aramburu, who is a defensive player. And he's come on in front in place of Zubeldia, who of course was on a yellow card. And Aguasil doesn't want to risk going down to 10 in these circumstances. So that's quite the change from Sociedad. Triple substitution deal.
Yeah, they were obviously thinking to themselves they can feel this game slightly slipping away from them, because United have come out the blocks incredibly again in the second half. They've dominated possession and the pace of the game and the physicality of the game as well. And I think Sociedad said, right, not quite working, let's change it.
Onana comes out of his penalty area to get a rather soft back pass, but he gets there first and he bangs it out of play on the far side of the pitch. So Pablo Marin was the other player who went off in the midfield. They've now got Brais Mendes, Martin Zubimendi and Bernat Torrientes as the 3 in the middle of the field to Sociedad. Poor clearance by the goalkeeper. Garnacho's been able to put it back, but can't pick out Hoyland again. And Romero was able to get down and grab the poor pass that he played that nearly caused all sorts of trouble. This high press from Manchester United tonight, there's no doubt it has put Sociedad under pressure.
You know what? It's great work, from Garnacho. I'm not sure he has to slide to get there, because as he does slide, it gives Romero, the keeper, time to get back in his goal. As he tries to roll it into Hoyland's path, the keeper gets up and just steps in. Oh, it's really good work. I'm watching the replay. Brilliant.
He does slide. He gets back to his feet as quickly as he can, but as Dion illustrated, the goalkeeper was back to his feet at that stage. So 2-1 Manchester United lead in the night here in the Europa League. 3-2 on aggregate as things stand. They're going through to play Lyon in the quarter-final. Let's check on progress of the League 2 leaders, Walsall, who are away at Bromley tonight. Emily Herbert.
Well, Bromley go ahead again. It's the super sub Harry McGurdy with a lob over the head of the Walsall keeper. So composed, so cool, and it's all the work from Michael Cheek. It's an excellent through ball for the goal. It's Bromley 2, Walsall 1.
That could be a big night for Bromley, who are not out of the mix for the playoff positions by any matter or means. Here at Old Trafford, Real Sociedad come forward. They have possession in the midfield. Torrientes, who's just come on, rolls the ball back to Martin Zubimendi. To his left-hand side, Nea Figuer, the experienced Moroccan. Attempted turn by Torrientes in the midfield, but possession stolen off him by Bruno Fernandes, who's having a good game. Xerxes up to Hoyland, runs into Zubimendi. Great strength from Hoyland, sends it across, comes shot, and Garnacho is a whisker away. Again, he's trying everything, Rasmus Hoyland. You cannot knock the effort, but he just needs to get the ball in the back of the net.
He's doing everything apart from what he has to do, which is put the ball in the back of it, holding it up, holding off defenders, driving into the box there, down the left-hand side, pulling it across the 6-yard box. Keeper's out of the keeper's range, and Garnacho just cannot get there before it goes out of play. But that's what Hoyland's done all season. Just can't get himself a goal.
Rasmus Hoyland looking for his first goal in 21 games for Manchester United. If you wear number 9 on your back, that is not a statistic that you want to have. Let's check out how Tottenham are getting on against Alkmaar in this competition. Andy Stevenson.
Well, we've had 2 big moments for Alkmaar, 2 warning shots for Tottenham. Skipper Jordi Clasie has just put a shot inches wide of the post, and moments before that, Alkmaar felt that Ernest Poku was pushed in the area by Mickey van der Ven. The referee, though, adjudged it to be shoulder to shoulder. A sigh of relief from the Tottenham fans. 2-0 to Spurs on the night, 2-1 on aggregate.
Thanks very much, Andy. Here at Old Trafford, Casemiro has dinked a little pass into the path of Bruno Fernandes here, just inside the Manchester United half. They're playing left to right as we look down. Bruno Fernandes gives it to Garnacho, who tried to thread a ball in front of Xerxes, but it's cut out by Zubimendi. Real Sociedad regain possession once again.
It's good, that Garnacho there, just in that number 10 role, but you've seen the opposite run. Højlund went into one space, Xerxes went to another. One went short, one went long. They're really working well together, those two tonight.
If you're just catching up with events, Real Sociedad took the lead this evening. Early penalty for Oyarzabal. Manchester United got it back to 1-1 and now lead 2-1. Both Manchester United goals from the penalty spot, both scored by Bruno Fernandes. As Aguerd goes long for Sociedad, but too long, too far in front of Barrenechea. And that goes out for a throw into Manchester United, right full-back position. Diogo Dalot wipes the ball on his shirt, and the clock ticks on, and we've reached the hour mark already. Manchester United could be just 30 minutes away from a quarter-final here.
Yeah, it's all about concentration. It's all about not changing anything. Keep doing what you're doing. Get the ball down, play the football, but play it nice and quick. And don't allow Real Sociedad to stamp their authority on the second half. Slow the game down, play the way they want to play.
So it's on a knife edge here. 1 goal advantage for Manchester United. On a knife edge in Glasgow, where Rangers trail 1-0 to Jose Mourinho's Fenerbahce on the night, but Rangers still leading 3-2 on aggregate. Mazraoui here on the edge of his own penalty area, with Barrenechea storming in on him, and about 20,000 shouts of man on for Mazraoui, who may not have been aware the opponent was creeping up behind him. As Sociedad hold on to possession, they have in the back with Elizondo, and he gives it to Aguerd.
I actually don't think he was aware of until the fans said man on. He actually livened up a little bit.
Coming in on his blind side. Here comes Sociedad again. Aramburu, who's come on to play on the right-hand side. Elizondo, who gave away the penalty, who started the game at right-back, is now playing central defence. His crossfield ball here to Barrenechea. Barrenechea, who scored against Osasuna in the Copa del Rey recently. Dalot here tries to shield it out of play, and he's given it away. Barrenechea, good slide by Casemiro, who sensed that danger immediately and reacted when almost no one else did. It looked like Dalot was just going to shield it out for a corner. You think, right, well, or for a goal kick, you think, well, that's it, nothing's going to happen here. Suddenly, Barrenechea had taken it off him, but Casemiro slides to put it for the corner.
Yeah, it's great work from the midfield player, seeing the danger, helping you. Centre half out, needed to as well.
Brais Mendes is going to take the corner kick. Here it comes. Left-hand side for Sociedad. Met in the centre by De Ligt. Bruno Fernandes helps it out of the penalty area. And there's a chance of a counter-attack here. This is Alejandro Garnacho over the halfway line. Well-timed challenge, though, comes in on him from Munoz as Real Sociedad get it back again. But then Dalot wins possession for Manchester United once more. And the rapid tempo of this game continues. 2-1 in Manchester United's favour with half an hour to play. This is Aiden Heaven. First senior start of his career. He's done well so far. Let's go to Ibrox, find out the latest on Rangers against Fenerbahce with Ailey Barber.
Still trailing by 1-0 on the night, Rangers, but they still lead in the tie overall as Czerny weaves his way into the box, but that is cleared for a Rangers corner. This will be a real test for Rangers, though. Fenerbahce have started the second half really well after that goal right before the break, but they know they need at least one more to drag this game into extra time. It is still Rangers 0, Fenerbahce on the night. Rangers 3, Fenerbahce 2 on aggregate.
Zubimendi tries to cross the ball into the penalty area, but there's too many Manchester United players, and they regain possession the home side as Xerxes here plays a brilliant through ball in front of Dorgu, who's taken down. He was running clean through there, Dorgu. It's a red card! Red card for Aramburu, who's only just come on as a substitute. This is a big moment in this Europa League last 16 tie, because Aramburu is dismissed and Sociedad will have to play the remainder of this game with 10 men. Manchester United's 2-1 advantage looks even better now as we go to Tottenham and news of a goal from Andy Stevenson.
Alkmaar have scored and Spurs are stunned. It's an unfortunate mix-up between Wilson Odobert and Lucas Bergvall on the edge of the Tottenham area, capitalised on by Pierre Koopmeiners, finishing smartly past Vicario. And my goodness me, it's 2-1 now to Tottenham on the night and 2-2 on aggregate.
2-2 on aggregate there. We're watching replays of a rash challenge from John Aramburu on Patrick Dorgu, who had been played through by Xerxes, was about to run untethered into the penalty area. Taken down. Sociedad now down to 10 men.
Yeah, I think it's a great ball from Xerxes, straight down the middle of the pitch, and it's Dorgu who's coming from the left-hand side, and Aramburu just doesn't see him. He doesn't see him at all. Sees him too late. There's a bit of contact. He trips him up. I don't think he means to trip him up, but he does. He trips him up. Dorgu's in. He's getting to the ball first. The red card stands. He's walking off the pitch, and I believe that Dorgu would have been in on goal. I believe he would have had a chance of scoring. The referee has got that correct.
He's not taking it quietly, John Aramburu. He's been complaining. He's only now just left the pitch. And Mikel Oyarzabal has picked up a yellow card for his complaints about that. Sociedad know how costly that is. They were going to need a goal anyway to get back on level terms. Now they've got to try and achieve that with 10 men away from home at Old Trafford as Aramburu heads down that lonely walk towards the tunnel in the corner. He is leaving the pitch as the ball is played in. The free kick by Bruno Fernandes sits up for De Ligt, just over the top, left-footed, just inside the penalty area. He put the laces through that, and it skims over the crossbar.
Yeah, laces to the far post from Bruno, and De Ligt does really well because he leaves it. It's going over his head, and Dalot just heads it down to him. He's going backwards, De Ligt, and I'm thinking, take it on the half volley on your left foot, and he does, and he just hits it a little bit too late on the up. Goes over the bar, but it's a good strike.
What an opportunity this is becoming now for Ruben Amorim and for Manchester United as Xerxes puts the pressure on again. Oh, great touch from Xerxes, taken up by Garnacho into the penalty area. Manchester United can seal it. Dorgu's shot though is blocked by a defender, and out it goes for a corner. Is it? No, flag goes up. Manchester United were offside anyway, so a free kick as we go for news of action elsewhere. I believe it's at Chelsea in the Conference League. Chelsea against Copenhagen. Here's John Southall.
Chelsea 1, Copenhagen 0. Could have been 2. Cole Palmer on the edge of the penalty area, curled the shot wide of the left-hand post. Copenhagen have a corner over on the far side, but Chelsea lead 3-1 on aggregate, 1-0 on the night.
Thanks very much, John. So Manchester United leading 3-2 on aggregate here at Old Trafford as Dalot plays the ball back to Onana. They've just got to keep their heads now. Of course, they'd love a third goal in the evening to establish a 2-goal cushion, but the key thing for Manchester United now against 10 is do not concede.
Yeah, do not concede, do not step off the pace, keep moving the ball from left to right, because at the moment now Sociedad will have to sit back and let Man United have it. Don't get impatient, keep it, draw the players out and try and play around them, get into the crossing positions and do what you've done all night, get the ball into dangerous areas. United have done well tonight.
The winner of this tie faces either Lyon or Steaua Bucharest, and it's going to be Lyon because they've gone 3-0 up on the night and they are 6-1 up on aggregate. So Manchester United on the verge here of a Europa League quarter-final against the French club Lyon. That'd be a nice trip. Gastronomy capital of the France.
Yeah, I've not been in Lyon for a long time, so
you might be due a visit.
I'm sure the managers.
We'll have a word. We'll have a word.
The bosses can hear this.
Hand up from Dion Dublin for that trip if it's going. Manchester United fans who always travel to support their team in enormous numbers, even through the bad times. Many of them remembering the glory days and just hoping that tonight could be part of the puzzle that could yet bring silverware to Manchester United in this most shambolic of seasons. Again, his possession for Sociedad. Can they pick themselves up? Remember, Sociedad, like Manchester United, their domestic form has been poor lately. They're in the bottom half in La Liga. As a challenge comes in on Torrientes, and that is a free kick to Real Sociedad inside the centre circle. Manchester United can fall back into a defensive formation once again. Ruben Amorim isn't taking anything for granted. He's very animated down there. He's out of his technical area, almost on the pitch, as Ahin Munoz turns infield, rolls it back to Aguerd, infield again to Elizondo. The 10 men, it was difficult enough with 11, and it's not like they were peppering Andre Onana's goal with shots here. The ball's gone out of play there. Barrenechea brought it back in play after the ball had left the field. So Sociedad looking very frustrated here, trailing 3-2 on aggregate in the Europa League.
Yeah, they are looking frustrated, but they haven't got a lot of quality, and I think if you allow them to have the ball in your own final third, their offensive final third, they can score goals. So what you have to do is keep the ball well, make sure the pass that you're looking for finds a red shirt, concentration at the back when you haven't got the ball.
The clock ticks on, and it ticks on in Manchester United's favour, and we're into the final quarter of the 90 minutes now. Remember, if Sociedad could get an equaliser, it would go to extra time, but even then they would have to play the additional 30 minutes with 10. And they've just picked up another yellow card there. Elizondo has picked up a yellow card, so they're racking those up as well. Oyarzabal and Zubimendi, and Zubeldia has already gone off, but there's quite a few of them have got to be careful. They certainly don't want to go down to 9. Free kick to Manchester United, no urgency, they turn and roll it back to Onana.
This is where United need to be. When they are in a position of strength, when they have got that advantage, not just 11 against 10, but the possession's better, the quality of football's better, the energy's better, you have to keep doing the same things. What they don't want to do is keep going back to the goalkeeper, because that's when you suck the opposing team onto you, you start making mistakes.
It's a night that's gone well for Manchester United, but these home fans at Old Trafford will be aware they've seen their team have collapses this campaign. They've seen things go wrong. They'd love another goal. Maybe they could get one here. Garnacho down the right-hand side, tries to pull it back. Højlund, can this be his moment? It's going wide anyway as it's blocked. He can't hit the barn door with a banjo at the moment, Rasmus Højlund. He's trying everything, but the most important part of his artillery is letting him down. He can't get a clean shot away.
He didn't need to take a touch. The ball was crossed by Garnacho. It was cut out by the centre half. It just dropped about 5 yards away from the penalty spot. Same distance out. I'm thinking run round it, smack it as hard as you can. He takes a touch, gets it all wrong. It's just pure confidence. What he's trying to do, Connor, he's trying to make a half chance a full chance. Take the half chance, it's there for you.
This is 5 Live and BBC Sounds. 20 minutes to go of normal time at Old Trafford. Manchester United leading Real Sociedad of Spain by 2-1 in the night, 3-2 in aggregate. Mazraoui here with a crossfield ball, picks out Dorgu, low ball into the penalty area, well met by Zubimendi. Zubimendi's able to clear away as we hear news coming our way of a goal at Bromley in League 2. Bromley against Walsall tonight. Emily Herbert.
Walsall equalised for the second time in this game, and this time from the captain. It's Matt with an easy tap in from across from the right. It's Bromley 2, Walsall 2.
What about events in North London in the Europa League tonight? Tottenham work still to do against Alkmaar. Andy Stevenson.
Yeah, 2-1 Spurs this evening, 2-2 on aggregate. It's got nervy around me all of a sudden amongst the Tottenham fans and on the pitch. It was a Spurs error that led to the AZ Alkmaar goal, and players who had looked solid for 70 minutes have suddenly had a few edgy moments. Extra time maybe looming. 2-2 on aggregate.
Yeah, that's what Manchester United fans fear here. Edgy moments. There's a goal at Rangers. We're going to go in just a moment because Manchester United are taking a corner. Bruno Fernandes in swinger, met at the front stick by Torrientes. It goes out for another corner, so that little gap will allow us the room to join Ailey Barber at Rangers.
Where this tie is all square, Fenerbahce get their second goal of the night. Szymanski becomes the provider this time, and it's finished with a brilliant first time effort, and it is Fenerbahce 2-0 lead on the night. It is Rangers 3, Fenerbahce 3 on aggregate.
Jose Mourinho said after the first leg it wasn't all over. Here comes the corner. Bruno Fernandes, Højlund back to goal, tries to pick out Aiden Heaven, but it's too congested in there, and eventually the ball is cleared away by Brez Mendes, but won back by Bruno Fernandes again, and he plays it in. Casemiro's at the back post. Elizondo just gets there first and puts it out for a throw-in. It has been proper cup football this. You know it's a knockout game, as Sociedad are throwing everything at trying to get an equaliser, and Manchester United throwing everything at getting a 2-goal advantage. Dion Dublin.
I mean, the noise levels go through the roof when Højlund's got a chance of scoring. Can you imagine the noise if he does actually score tonight? Wow. Yes. Everybody's willing him to score. You can feel, and his teammates as well.
Yeah, there would be no greater feeling for Manchester United fans than a Højlund goal tonight, assuming that they're going through regardless, because that's got to be priority number one. Xerxes done well to hold it up here. The clock ticking on. We've got just over a quarter of an hour of normal time to play. 2-1 to Manchester United, who've had to come from behind tonight in this topsy-turvy two-legged tie. Remember, Manchester United led in the first leg, Sociedad equalised. Sociedad led here tonight, but then Manchester United turned it around to be in front, and Not over yet as Casemiro tries to play it in low towards the edge of the penalty area. Torrientes is able to clear the ball away, but it's all hands on deck for the 10 men of Real Sociedad, and they're back and they've got no one to play it up to at the moment. Casemiro is the centre circle to himself, rolls it to his right hand side to Nusser Mazraoui. He's allowed to creep forward midway into Sociedad territory. Dallo onto Garnacho, tries a trick up against Munoz, trick that doesn't work, and Sociedad clear away, and we go back to Tottenham. Another goal, Andy Stevenson.
Oh, what a goal. Wilson Odebear's second of the night for Tottenham. The attack starts in Spurs' own penalty area. They work it around the back. James Maddison has a brilliant cameo in there. He moves it from defence to attack, and it ends up coming across the area from Jed Spence to Odebear, who finishes neatly. It's 3-1 to Spurs down tonight, 3-2 on aggregate.
Thanks, Andy. What a comeback season it's been for Wilson Odebear, injured early in the campaign. He's missed so much of his short Tottenham career so far, but he's coming good. A player who I saw in Paris last summer at the Olympics, playing for Thierry Henry's France and doing really well. And Tottenham fans will be delighted with the impact that he's having. And Ange Postecoglou always said, judge him once the injured players come back. So we're beginning to see something more like a full-strength Tottenham now, as Manchester United prepared to take a corner here at Old Trafford. 2-1 they lead. Bruno Fernandes to take, right-footed towards Casemiro, headed away though by Zubimendi, and then Dorgu with nothing fancy from well inside the Real Sociedad half, turns and plays it all the way back to Andre Onana. Manchester United need to do nothing silly now. They've just got to be smart and shrewd as Casemiro plays an expansive pass towards Dorgu, who's just beaten by the byline, and he wallops against the advertising hoarding. And Casemiro, who keeps trying those quarterback passes, that one nearly came off.
Yeah, he had a lot of space to put that into as well. Casemiro's got that pass, he's got that club in his locker, little 3-iron over 6 or 7 gold shirts. Sociedad trying to squeeze up, just too long for Dorgu, but it's the correct ball.
Right, here comes a change for Real Sociedad. They're going to take off the tricky winger Takefusa Kubo, and they bring on the Icelandic forward Ori Oskarsson, who had a glorious chance to win the first leg for Sociedad in San Sebastian a week ago. He put his shot wide from close range. That could have meant a 2-1 lead for Real Sociedad coming here to Old Trafford. He's now on, and he'll be just gagging to get an opportunity to make amends for that miss. As Xerxes here nearly charged down Alex Romero, the Sociedad goalkeeper. The Spanish side are not giving up. It's really hard for them though, playing with 10. Barrenechea does well from a tight corner to play it infield to Torrientes, but that's where the extra man advantage really tells in the middle of the midfield, and Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes get it back between them, and it's all the way back to Andre Onana again.
It's good that United haven't changed the way, the mindset. Even though Sociedad are down to 10, they're still wanting to play fast. They're still wanting to close down fast as well.
You can listen to the League Cup final on Sunday here on 5 Live. Liverpool against Newcastle. It's 4:30 with John Murray, Ian Dennis and Stephen Warnock as we wing our way back to Glasgow again. Ailey Barber.
Where it is very much game on, and Jose Mourinho's gone to his bench. He's brought on Edin Dzeko and Dusan Tadic, and Tadic has just had a brilliant effort, just bounced wide of Jack Butland's far post. Fenerbahce are looking for what would take them through to the quarter-finals. It is all square on aggregate. Rangers 3, Fenerbahce 3.
Thanks very much, Ailey. Here goes Bruno Fernandes at Old Trafford. Lovely touch to get away from Brais Mendes. Urged by the crowd to shoot, but he tried to pick a pass to Dorgu instead. Comes back to an off-balance Bruno Fernandes, who tries to shoot but can only scuff it towards the keeper. He's giving heart and soul down there. His 2 goals at the moment are sending Manchester United through to the quarter-final. That's as things stand. Here he comes again. Bruno Fernandes drills a shot on target. Saved by Alex Romero. Manchester United want that 3rd goal of the night to put this tie to bed.
Yeah, Bruno wants his 3rd as well. Every opportunity that he's got, he's looking to set his sights. I mean, he's 25-30 yards out. Lovely strike. Straight down the keeper's throat, doesn't deviate from centre of the goal, that one. Pure laces.
So the 4 British sides in action this evening. Manchester United leading, Tottenham leading, but both of them by narrow outcomes, and Rangers level on aggregate against Fenerbahce. Let's go to the Conference League and check on events at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea against Copenhagen. John Southall.
Well, Chelsea looking to be easing their way into the quarter-finals. Chelsea 1, Copenhagen 0, and Kunku nearly through there. 3-1 on aggregate. Cole Palmer's had a free kick from 25 yards out, saved by Ramage, the keeper, to his left-hand side. Still looking for that goal, Cole Palmer, but Chelsea lead Copenhagen by a goal to 0.
Thank you, John. Substitution for Manchester United. They're taking off Casemiro. who's getting one of the warmer receptions that I've seen of his Manchester United career. The crowd like what they've seen. A player who has come in for some high-profile criticism this week, but he has put in a shift tonight. Toby Collier has come on instead.
Yeah, he's put a great shift in, played some really good football, closed down well.
Let's go back to Tottenham. Tottenham against Alkmaar. Andy Stevenson.
Oh, Alkmaar have just had a shot cleared off the line, I think by Pap Sarr. As you come to me, that would have made things very interesting. In fact, it's Yves Bissouma on as a substitute, clearing off the line. I was going to tell you that wonder goal from Tottenham a few minutes ago had settled things down. Brennan Johnson has been thrown on, Bissouma on as well. Spurs lead 3-1 on the night, 3-2 on aggregate.
Thanks very much. So, a goal advantage for Manchester United in this second leg at Old Trafford. Free kick to Real Sociedad, who are about to make another substitution ahead of taking the set piece. They're going to bring on Hamari Traore, the Malian international, former Rennes player. So he's going to come on. They've got to throw everything at it now, a bit like Manchester United. For Real Sociedad and their coach, Imanol Alguacil, this is the last chance to lose. This is their last chance of glory this season, the Europa League. Domestically, they've been a disappointment. Here comes the free kick, played into the penalty area, Dorgu's header. Traore involved for the first time, wins a good header, nearly setting up Oskarsson. Now Traore again, what an impact, he's just coming on, and Oskarsson in front of Onana blocks it away, but he did so from an offside position. Free kick to Manchester United inside their own penalty area.
Yeah, this is where Manchester United have to make sure that they choose whether they're going to play out from the back, see what Real Sociedad are going to do, if they're going to squeeze and go long. Just make sure you don't put your lead under any jeopardy at all. Don't get confident, don't get too sloppy as well.
BBC Radio 5 Live, BBC Sounds, the Europa League. What a touch from Xerxes on the far side, that's brilliant. Now can he pick the pass, lays it back to Garnacho, good challenge by Munoz. Super skills from Xerxes there, the way he turned the defender inside out. And Manchester United remain on the attack. Collier gives it to Garnacho inside the penalty area, pulls it to the edge. Bruno Fernandes, disguised pass, Xerxes, good save, Ramiro. What a goal that would have been. Such a slick build-up from Manchester United, but Ramiro keeps the tie, very much active, keeps Manchester United's lead just one goal. Mazraoui, nutmeg, crosses, Xerxes, header across the face of goal, and wide. And Højlund was there, and he wished it hit the post and set up for him, but out it goes. Manchester United have played some good stuff here, and we've not said that sentence very often this season, Dion.
Absolutely outstanding. Mazraoui down the right-hand side, it's like watching Ryan Giggs or Lee Sharp take it on play as he gets Meggs on his man, chips it to the far post. Xerxes just can't head it down to the ground where it's come from. And again, Højlund's in and around it, but he just cannot get that touch.
Here's Hamari Traore, recently on as a substitute up towards Oyarzabal, the Spanish international. Sociedad are running out of time here. We're deep inside the final 10 minutes now. I think Jim Ratcliffe needs to come out and criticise players more often. This has been a great reaction from the Manchester United players to what the owners had to say about them earlier on this week. 8 minutes plus the stoppages between Manchester United and a European quarter-final. De Ligt holding off Oskarsson. The Dutchman clears it away. Good physical battle there, but Matthijs De Ligt stood his ground. Ruben Amorim prowling around that tiny technical area here at Old Trafford. And he's had too many bad endings to games in his short time as Manchester United manager to be celebrating anything here. Throw in for the 10 men of Real Sociedad, and I think the red card, Adam Buru's dismissal, that's the real key. If this had been 11 against 11, it would be even more fraught than it already is.
Yeah, you're probably right, and I would have think there was more pace as well on Real Sociedad's game. At the moment, they're having to choose carefully how quick they play, who they leave at the back. They're going into a 4-4-1, obviously, when they're out of possession. They have to. And United have had all kinds of joy down the right-hand side.
Bruno Fernandes wins it back again in the midfield. Højlund back to Dorgu. Infield to Collier again. Another big shout of man on because Barrenechea was closing down on him. Eden Heaven picks a nice pass to Xerxes. Xerxes had a great second half. This is Bruno Fernandes. Collier. Manchester United beginning to exert confidence and dominance here. Collier rolls it back again to De Ligt, and Sociedad, who are playing for their season here, are chasing everything, but they can't get a touch at the moment. Heaven to Garnacho, back to Collier, neat short-range triangular passes, holding on to possession for Manchester United. Heaven, cutting back at himself, running back towards his own penalty area, lays it to De Ligt, in turn all the way back to Onana, and then Andre Onana says, right, enough of that tiki-taka, and he puts a big blast in it up towards the halfway line, up towards Garnacho, and between him and Højlund, Manchester United hold on to possession here. 7 minutes remaining of the 90 at Old Trafford. BBC Radio 5 Live and BBC Sounds tonight in the Europa League. This is a chance for Dorgo into the penalty area. Sliding challenge, the referee points to the spot, and Bruno Fernandes is going to get the chance to complete a hat-trick of penalties here. Well, this one looked a bit softer than the others. We'll get to see the replay now. Dorgo running, Traore sliding, gets the ball first surely, but the referee points to the spot. Penalty for Manchester United, and this can seal it now.
I'm shaking my head here because even without a look, it says penalty. Check on our screens. I think the referee might change his mind here. I do believe it's a good challenge, and there's contact with the ball. All you have to do is keep an eye on the ball. The ball just deviates slightly. The roll of the ball changes as well. The referee has the ball in his hands. He's calling 2 players towards him. Not quite sure what he's going to say to them. Checking the foul.
Right, well, it is a tense moment here because this will decide it one way or the other, and it's not going to be a penalty. So the penalty, which could have given Bruno Fernandes a bit of history, a hat-trick of penalties, you don't see that very often. And in the end, I think they've got that right. It wasn't a penalty.
Yeah, correct decision. Referee went off what he's seen, got the information that he needed from his assistants, and I think he was absolutely spot on. Yeah.
Players who have scored hat-trick of penalties in their career. Justin Kluivert did it for Bournemouth earlier on this season against Wolves. But there's been a few others over the years. Jan Mulby famously did it for Liverpool back in the day. The Brazilian Ronaldo got a hat-trick of penalties in a match as well. Let's go back to Rangers, still very much on tenterhooks against Fenerbahce. Eli Barber.
On tenterhooks because we're about to enter the third final minute of this game, and that was a huge chance for Rangers. Connor Barron's cross across the face of goal, and Hadji centimetres away from getting the touch that would have put it in the back of the net. It is still Rangers 2-0 down on the night, 3 each on aggregate.
Thanks very much, Ailey. So we have got 4 minutes of normal time to play at Old Trafford, but Bruno Fernandes has given the ball away on the edge of the penalty area. This is Oyarzabal, gives it into the box. Oscarson, it was a difficult one to control, and he wasn't able to chest it down. And this is where you can tell the extra man advantage as Garnacho, with lots of space, comes in the counter, rolls it for Bruno Fernandes. Hat-trick! Into the bottom corner. Well, that's quite remarkable. A hat-trick from Bruno Fernandes to send Manchester United into the Europa League quarter-final for sure now. He gave the ball away on the edge of his own penalty area about 20 seconds before that, and then he pops up at the other end to score the counter-attack when Manchester United won it back. Hat-trick hero, and very much the hero, as Bruno Fernandes continues to carry this Manchester United team. He's been the shining light. 3-1 of the night, 4-2 on aggregate. The 10 men of Real Sociedad are not coming back from this.
Brilliant work from Garnacho. I've got to say, Garnacho makes a great run. He gets rolled into him, and what he does is he runs down the side of the pitch. He goes infield now, so he's running towards the goal, centre of the goal. It means that both sides of him can be ran into. Bruno Fernandes has ran from the edge of his box to get beyond his teammate. The ball's in front of him, he touches it in the box, from the edge of the box, and then he just strikes it across the keeper. There's no looking for a teammate on this occasion. I'll take 3 goals, thank you. Brilliant finish.
Bruno Fernandes, who scored a fine free kick against Arsenal here on Sunday, has a beaming smile at Old Trafford. His hat-trick complete. And in a week when Manchester United have been showing off the plans of their ambitious, futuristic, expensive new stadium, the hope of a bright future, Well, maybe in the here and now, a reminder that this famous old football club can still produce a performance on a big European night like this. And make no mistake, you know, the chips were down tonight. The campaign effectively ended for Ruben Amorim if they lose this. They'd have no competitive football as such to speak of through. It would just be dead rubber stuff to the end of the campaign. Suddenly Manchester United are back in the hunt for silverware, and crucially in the hunt to get into European football again next season, and so much of that is down to the performance of Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah, what a captain's performance. I mean, he's so assured with the ball at his feet. He can see him shouting and pointing every time he gets a chance to score a goal. He seems to be so composed and in control of what he's doing. United come forward again.
Sociedad are flattened. Garnacho fouled by Aguerd. Referee tried for a moment to see if he could play some advantage there, but it was repeated fouls by Aguerd. He is shown a yellow card predictably for that.
Yeah, I think Aguerd's been so physical tonight with Højlund, and he's got away with a lot. Not this time. Yellow card.
What a night it's been. 4 goals here, 6 goals in the tie. It's felt like a proper night of European drama for Manchester United, and as things stand, a happy ending coming for Ruben Amorim as Christian Eriksen has come on as a replacement here and wins a corner kick. He's come on for Xerxes Eriksen. Corner kick to Manchester United, but with a minute to play, with a 2-goal cushion, playing against 10 men, this is surely all over now.
Yeah, you'd have thought so, and you know, you half wanted to be for the captain. He's just been brilliant.
The corner's taken short. Well, if it's looking less jeopardy here now at Old Trafford, you certainly wouldn't say that about Tottenham. Tottenham against Alkmaar. Andy Stevenson.
90 minutes on the clock. We're into 4 minutes of added time. AZ Alkmaar have thrown on some attacking substitutes, as they have to do. Tottenham trying to cling on for a quarter-final against Eintracht Frankfurt. It's 3-1 to Spurs tonight, 3-2 on aggregate. A couple of minutes to go.
Who's going through between Rangers and Fenerbahce? Eli Barber.
We're into the 5 minutes of added time. This tie is all square. Fenerbahce have come from 3-1 down after the first leg to tie it here at Ibrox. Both teams searching for a goal that will see them through to the quarter-finals. Extra time is looming. It is Rangers 0, Fenerbahce 2 on the night.
To Chelsea in a moment, but here come Manchester United again. Garnacho looking for Eriksen. It's going to set up for Dorgu. Oh, he's miscued. Højlund back to Dorgu. They're queuing up here, but they can't get the shot away. Dorgu now closed down by Traoré. Manchester United fans looking to get a 4th goal that will really seal the deal. Højlund battles on. Nice little flick. Pulls it back. Dallo! It is 4. Manchester United are putting Real Sociedad to the sword now. 4-1 of the night, 5-2 on aggregate as Diogo Dallo joins the party on his 200th appearance for Manchester United. That's it for sure. Game absolutely all over here. What about Chelsea at Stamford Bridge? John Southall.
Chelsea lead Copenhagen by a goal to 0. Cole Palmer could have had his goal just a moment ago, saved by the keeper. We're heading towards the end of the game. Chelsea are cruising into the quarters. Chelsea 1, Copenhagen 0, 3-1 aggregate.
Chelsea cruising, Manchester United cruising now. Diogo Dallo's 2nd goal of the campaign. Both of them have come in the Europa League.
Højlund again. Højlund brilliant down the left-hand side. He's one-on-one. He's doing all kinds of tricks as he goes into the box. Down the left-hand side, little flicks and gets a little bit of mags and he pulls it back. Dallo's in a great position there. He's just about a yard away from the penalty spot as he takes his pull back at pace, and all he has to do is guide it. He doesn't have to put any pace on it at all. So half volley, side foot, bam, thank you very much, game over. I'll see you in France.
Yes, Lyon awaiting in the quarter-final. Sociedad are waving the white flag now. It is all over ever since that red card for Aramburu. At that stage, Manchester United held a 1-goal advantage. Now they've got a 3-goal advantage. Oskarsson tries to battle on down the other end. He's got 5 red shirts around him. He's done well actually to bring it back for Baranechea, but when he tries to shoot, it comes off delayed. Down goes Mazraoui. He's fouled. Free kick to Manchester United. We're already midway through the 4 minutes that have been added on for stoppages.
You know what, there's been some really good. Mazraoui has been outstanding today. Dallo's got his goal, but he played well anyway. De Ligt has marshalled the back 3, back 4, whatever you want to call it. Heaven's been out. He's been brilliant.
Yeah,
absolutely brilliant.
For his first ever start as a teenager.
Just been great. Garnacho's been all over the place. We spoke about Højlund all night. Dorgu as well. Really, really good football tonight from everyone in the red shirt.
I tell you what, Dion, it has been a long time since Manchester United last scored 4 goals in a game. It has been 2 years to the month since Manchester United hit 4 as Rasmus Højlund tries to battle for possession there on the edge of the penalty area. Sociedad get it up to Oskarsson. Real Sociedad trying to plough on here, but their goose is cooked. And a big story though brewing in Glasgow. Ailey Barber.
Huge chance for Fenerbahce to win it. Dzeko could have taken on the shot played in El Nasri, but absolutely brilliant from the Rangers captain James Tavernier to get back, block the effort. It is still Rangers 0, Fenerbahce 2, 3 each on aggregate.
Thanks very much, Ailey. Here at Old Trafford, the pyrotechnics are out again. The smell of sulphur in the air has gone at you rather flamboyantly. Bicycle kicks it clearance away. It is all over in London, in Stamford Bridge. Chelsea in the Conference League going through. John Southall.
They are. Chelsea 1, Copenhagen 0, 3-1 on aggregate. Chelsea terrible in the first half, better in the second. The goal from Kieran Dewsbury Hall showed real persistence on the left edge of the area, worked his way through a few challenges and planted a ball into the bottom right hand corner. Good finish that. 7 European wins on the bounce for Chelsea, and they're into the quarter-finals. Chelsea 1, Copenhagen 0, 3-1 on aggregate.
Thanks very much, John. Taken shot here by Christian Eriksen, comfortably saved by Alex Romero. All over in League 2, Bromley against leaders Walsall. Emily Herbert.
Yeah, and it finishes all square. Bromley 2, Walsall 2. The hosts were on top for much of the game, with Thompson firing in a half volley and super sub McCurdy producing a brilliant lob over the keeper. Walsall were on the back foot but found a way back twice. Former Bromley man Amachi and captain Jamil Matt grabbing the goals to secure a point. That result moves Walsall 3 points clear at the top, while Bromley keep their playoff chase alive. Full time, Bromley 2, Walsall 2.
All over here at Old Trafford. Manchester United have beaten Sociedad by 4 goals to 1 on the night. 5-2 on aggregate, through to play surely Lyon in the quarter-final. Finally, something to celebrate for Ruben Amorim.